You've been lied to about healing. They told you it comes from doctors, from pills, from fixing everything on the outside. But if that were true, why do so many people who take care of their bodies still feel broken inside? Why do you still carry old pain, sleepless nights, memories you wish you could forget? The truth is, real healing doesn't start in the body. It starts in the mind, because your thoughts shape your stress shapes your body, and your body carries every wound the mind refuses to let go of. But here's the secret the Stoics discovered centuries ago. Peace and strength can be built from within. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, men who faced war, loss, betrayal, still found unshakable calm, not because life was easy, but because they mastered the art of inner control. They proved that no matter what happens outside, your mind can create harmony inside. And tonight, as you listen to these meditations, something inside you will shift. The noise in your head will quiet down, the tension in your body will loosen, and you'll feel something you've been missing for a long time. Safety, clarity, relief. This isn't just another meditation. This is the beginning of your healing, a journey where your mind becomes calm, your body becomes light, and your soul finally rests. Are you ready to let go of the pain you've been carrying? Are you ready to rebuild yourself from the inside out? Then let's begin. When the night grows quiet and the world outside finally slows, there is a doorway that opens within you, a place where real healing begins. You've felt it before, in those rare moments when your body lets go for just a second, when the weight you carry eases without warning. It feels like a sigh you didn't know you were holding, a small crack of light inside heavy walls. That is where we are going, deeper into yourself, where your body holds memories that your mind has long tried to forget. The truth is, trauma does not only live in thought or memory, it lives in muscle, in breath, in the nervous system itself. Every shock, every heartbreak, every loss leaves behind traces that settle into the body like stones sinking into water. And if those stones are never lifted, they weigh you down, year after year, shaping how you walk, how you breathe, even how you dream. Tonight, you are going to learn how to touch those hidden places, not with force, not with struggle, but with gentle awareness that allows the body to release what words never could. The Stoics knew this in their own way. They lived in a world of chaos, of battles, betrayal, and sudden loss. They understood that the body is the vessel through which the mind suffers. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, but he also knew that thoughts leave their imprint on flesh. Seneca described the trembling hands of those who lived in fear, proof that emotions do not float away like smoke, but grip the body with iron chains. Trauma, though we call it by modern names, was no stranger to them. They recognized the same truth that science confirms today. The nervous system remembers. When you feel restless and cannot sleep, when your chest tightens at the sound of certain words, when your stomach knots, though no danger is present, that is your body speaking in the language of the past. It is the nervous system replaying unfinished stories, trying to protect you from harm that is no longer here. The mistake most people make is believing this is weakness, or that time alone should erase it. But what time does not release, awareness can. And not the cold awareness of thought, but a warm, steady attention given to the body itself, the kind of awareness that does not judge, does not push, but simply listens. This is the essence of somatic meditation, and it is one of the most powerful tools for healing trauma that has ever been discovered. So how does this process unfold? It begins with turning your attention inward, but not in the way you usually do. Most people enter their inner world like critics, scanning for flaws, demanding change. Somatic meditation asks you to arrive differently, to step softly, like entering a sacred space. Close your eyes, let the world fade, and feel the weight of your body where it rests. Notice gravity holding you. Without effort, without expectation, you start to sense small details that often go unseen. The slight warmth of your hands, the rhythm of your breath, the heaviness of your eyelids. These are not distractions, they are invitations. The body is speaking, and for perhaps the first time, you are listening. The first lesson is trust. Trauma is often born in moments where control was taken from you, where the body was overwhelmed by more than it could bear. To heal, you must return a sense of safety to this body. Start small. Feel the texture of the surface beneath you. Feel its stability. Let your nervous system know you are supported. Every time you sense safety, however small, you lay a foundation on which release becomes possible. From here, bring your attention to the breath. Not the breath you force, but the natural rise and fall that has carried you since birth. Trauma often interrupts the breath, making it shallow, quick, or stuck. By watching it, by allowing it, you remind your body that breathing is safe. Place your hand lightly on your chest or stomach and notice how each inhale expands, how each exhale softens. The nervous system begins to respond, shifting slowly from alertness to rest. This is the doorway through which deeper healing comes. Next comes sensing. Trauma hides in places that are easy to overlook. A tight jaw, clenched fists, stiff shoulders, a stomach that feels heavy. Do not fight these sensations. Fighting is what the body already knows too well. Instead, approach with curiosity. Notice the tension. Describe it silently. Warm, cold, sharp, dull, heavy, buzzing. Do not demand it to change. Just watch. Neuroscience now confirms what ancient wisdom always hinted. When awareness rests gently on a sensation without judgment, the nervous system begins to reorganize itself. What was frozen starts to thaw. At times, this thawing feels like waves of emotion rising. You may feel sadness without a story, anger without a cause, or a trembling that seems to come from nowhere. Do not be afraid. This is not regression. It is release. The body is emptying pockets of energy it has held for years. Let the tears fall if they come. Let the shaking move through. Let the sigh escape. The Stoics taught not to resist nature, and this too is nature. The body's wisdom untying knots that thought alone could never reach. As you practice this, you will notice something surprising. The pain you feared is not endless. It rises, it peaks, and it fades. Like a storm that passes, each wave eventually calms, leaving a quiet space where tension once lived. This teaches your nervous system a vital truth. Sensations are safe, feelings can be endured, and you are not defined by what once happened to you. Slowly, you reclaim your body, inch by inch, from the grip of trauma. But there is another layer, subtler and just as vital. Trauma often fractures the connection between parts of the body. You might live only from the shoulders up, trapped in thought, disconnected from the chest, the stomach, the legs. Somatic meditation is the gentle stitching together of these fragments. When you place awareness in your feet, you remind yourself that you stand on solid ground. When you sense your hands, you recall that you are capable of touch, of creation. When you feel your heart's rhythm, you remember you are alive, beating, whole. This reintegration is not symbolic, it is physiological. The brain's map of the body expands, circuits reconnect, and the sense of being complete begins to return. As the practice deepens, another transformation occurs. The memories that once triggered fear lose their sharpness. They may still exist, but the body no longer reacts as if they are happening now. This is because somatic awareness teaches the nervous system to distinguish past from present. Every time you anchor in breath, in sensation, in the stability of the present moment, you strengthen the pathways that say, "I am safe now." Over time, these pathways grow stronger than the reflexes of fear. What once felt like a prison becomes just a memory, no longer controlling your every step. This work is not quick. Healing the body from trauma is like untying a rope that has been knotted for decades. Pull too hard, and the knot tightens. But touch it gently, patiently, and the strands begin to loosen. The Stoics spoke often of patience, of enduring without complaint. Here, patience is not passive. It is active love for yourself. Every session, every small release is a victory that adds up to freedom. And perhaps the most profound gift of somatic meditation is not just the release of pain, but the discovery of peace. Once the body is no longer bound by old patterns, space opens for new experiences. Joy returns, not the shallow joy of distraction, but the deep joy of presence. You notice the softness of air against your skin, the sweetness of stillness, the quiet miracle of being alive. You do not need to chase happiness, because you begin to feel it in the simple act of existing without weight. Science today supports what philosophy always knew. Research on trauma shows that when people practice somatic awareness, their stress hormones lower, their heart rhythms stabilize, their immune systems strengthen. The body, once freed from the grip of unresolved trauma, can finally do what it was designed to do: repair, renew, regenerate. Healing becomes not a distant hope, but a daily reality. And yet, there is something even deeper. Somatic meditation reconnects you with a wisdom older than thought. The body holds truths the mind cannot grasp. It knows when to tremble, when to cry, when to rest. By listening, you return to a natural intelligence that society often silences. You realize you do not have to control everything. You only have to allow. And in that allowing, healing arises on its own. This is where the Stoic path meets the meditative path. To endure what is outside, you must make peace with what is inside. To stand unshaken in the face of life's storms, you must first release the storms you carry in your own flesh. Somatic meditation is not about escaping life, but about meeting it fully, with a body that is no longer bound by the past, with a mind that is steady, with a spirit that is free. So as you lie here, as these words reach you, feel your body once more. Sense the ground beneath you. Let your breath rise and fall. If there is tension, notice it. If there is ease, notice that too. Nothing to change, nothing to force. Just awareness, soft and steady. This is the path. This is the beginning of release. And with every moment you practice, you are teaching your nervous system, your cells, your very being, I am safe, I am whole, I am healing. When the body begins to release the weight of trauma, what comes next is not emptiness, but space. Space for the nervous system to breathe, for the heart to rest, for a deeper kind of repair to unfold. Healing does not stop when tension fades. It only starts there. Beneath the muscles, beneath the breath, there is another world where life continues its work quietly and without pause. The body is not just a single whole, it is a universe of cells, billions upon billions, each one carrying both memory and potential. And here is the truth few people ever consider. Your healing begins not only in the mind, not only in your muscles, but within those tiny living units that make up all of you. When awareness touches them, when intention directs light toward them, something profound awakens. Cellular healing is not metaphor, it is biology responding to consciousness. Every cell carries its own rhythm, its own intelligence. Within it beats the work of mitochondria, flowing energy, repairing DNA, flushing out waste, building new tissue. Most people never pause to notice that while their attention is consumed by thoughts, their cells are constantly laboring to keep them alive. But here lies the gift. Attention is not powerless. What you bring to your body changes how your body responds. Stress is proof. When the mind is heavy with fear, cells respond with inflammation, immune suppression, and fatigue. Yet when the mind is filled with calm focus, when awareness turns inward with care, the very same cells shift into repair and renewal. Science calls this psychoneuroimmunology, but the ancients simply called it harmony. To begin, close the eyes and allow your focus to drop deeper than breath, deeper than muscle. Picture your body not as one single piece, but as a living community. You are not one, you are trillions, and every one of those tiny lives is working for you. Start with a single cell. You do not need to see it clearly, it is enough to sense it, like a faint spark of life within the dark. Picture it surrounded by light, soft yet steady, a glow that protects and renews. Notice the way your attention alters its presence. It begins to feel warmer, safer, as if it responds to being seen. This practice is not fantasy. Studies have shown that visualization can change cellular function. Athletes use mental rehearsal to strengthen muscles, patients use imagery to reduce pain, and research reveals that guided focus can influence immune cells directly. Awareness is not trapped in the head. It reaches through the nervous system into the smallest corners of the body. When you direct care to your cells, they respond as if given permission to repair. Now spread that light. Not in haste, but gently, like dawn spreading across a landscape. Move your attention slowly through the body, one region at a time, and within each region, sense the millions of cells laboring there. In your chest, cells of the lungs drawing in oxygen. In your heart, cells beating tirelessly. In your stomach, cells breaking down food into energy. Do not rush. Linger. With every place you focus, remind those cells you are safe, you are supported, you are free to heal. As this awareness grows, something remarkable happens. You begin to sense subtle tingles, warmth, even pulsing beneath the skin. This is not imagination. It is the nervous system awakening to regions long ignored. Blood flow increases, tension softens, and cellular communication strengthens. Each pulse of awareness acts like a signal, telling your body, activate repair. And within this repair lies another layer, memory. Cells carry not just function, but imprint. Chronic stress, repeated fear, unresolved grief, all of it shapes how cells behave. Some shut down, others overreact. Many carry signals of alarm far beyond the original event. Cellular healing meditation teaches these imprints that the danger has passed. By bathing them in focused attention and calm breath, you are rewriting the code they live by. Where there was inflammation, there comes balance. Where there was exhaustion, there comes renewal. This practice is powerful because it works on both levels, the physical and the symbolic. On the physical side, visualization lowers cortisol, increases immune activity, and supports mitochondrial efficiency. On the symbolic side, it tells the deepest part of you that you are no longer powerless, that healing is within reach, not as an abstract hope, but as a daily choice. This union of science and spirit is where real transformation lives. Do not be discouraged if at first the images feel faint. Clarity is not required. Presence is. Even the softest light of awareness begins to alter the inner environment. With practice, you will feel cells like notes in an orchestra, each one playing its part, and your role is the conductor, steadying, guiding, encouraging harmony. Some people find it helpful to picture color. White for purity, gold for vitality, green for growth. Others sense vibrations like sound waves washing through tissue. The form does not matter. What matters is sincerity. Your cells are listening not to your words, but to your state of being. When you approach them with patience, gratitude, and calm, they respond in kind. Begin to thank them. Gratitude is not just emotion, it is instruction. By thanking your cells, you affirm their work, and studies reveal that gratitude shifts physiology as surely as diet or exercise. Whisper inwardly, "Thank you for holding me through pain. Thank you for fighting when I felt weak. Thank you for repairing even when I ignored you." Feel how the body softens under the weight of that kindness. What is often treated as machinery becomes recognized as life, and in that recognition lies renewal. Notice also the power of breath as you do this. With every inhale, picture oxygen entering the blood, delivered to each cell like a gift. With every exhale, release waste, carbon dioxide, toxins the cells no longer need. This cycle is constant, but awareness amplifies it. You become an active partner in the body's cleansing, not just a passive passenger. The practice can go deeper still. Focus on areas that hold pain or illness. See the cells there not as broken, but as struggling workers needing support. Do not curse them. Do not reject them. Send them steadiness. Picture them surrounded by fresh nutrients, clear fluids, protective light. Hold them until you sense ease. Over time, these visualizations align with physiology, guiding blood flow, calming nerves, boosting resilience. It is important here to move slowly. Cellular healing is not about rushing into perfection, but about building a relationship with your inner world. Each day you return, the body trusts more. The cells respond faster, the repair deepens, and just as no field grows overnight, so too the body blossoms gradually under steady care. The Stoics would remind us that while we do not control everything, we always control how we meet what is within us. You cannot command life to erase your wounds, but you can choose to meet your cells with courage and compassion. That choice, repeated daily, reshapes the trajectory of health. There is another secret. Cells talk to one another. When one region begins to heal, signals ripple outward. The nervous system, the immune system, the endocrine system, all are woven together. What begins as a single spark of awareness in the chest may soon alter digestion, circulation, even mood. Cellular healing is not isolated, it cascades. You are awakening an ecosystem, not just a part. Some nights you will feel energy rush through you, a buzzing in your hands, a lightness in your head. Other nights it will be quiet, subtle, almost imperceptible. Both are signs of work unfolding. Trust the process. Even silence is part of healing. The the stillness where repair gathers strength. And so, as you continue, notice how your relationship to the body shifts. No longer a stranger, no longer an enemy, it becomes a companion. You walk with it, speak to it, listen to it. You realize that you were never broken beyond repair, only unheard. Now that you are listening, your cells are answering. Let your awareness expand one last time tonight, filling the whole body from head to toe. See every cell alight with quiet strength, like stars scattered across a vast night sky. Feel the unity of that constellation, not random, not chaotic, but deeply ordered, deeply alive. This is who you are, a community of life, resilient, renewing, radiant. As you rest, hold this truth. Healing is not far away. It is happening now, in every cell that breathes, in every cell that releases, in every cell that renews. You are not waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. Billions of lives working together in harmony, guided by the simple power of awareness. And tomorrow, when you wake, you will carry not only rest, but the quiet strength of knowing that your body is repairing itself from within, step by step, cell by cell, moment by moment. As the light of healing begins to move through every cell, the body feels renewed, but the journey does not end there. For while your cells hold memory, it is your brain that creates the patterns shaping how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to life. Many people heal their bodies, yet remain trapped in old loops of thought, the same worries circling endlessly, the same moods pulling them down, the same reactions rising before they even understand why. To change this, you must go deeper into the structure of the mind itself, into the pathways that govern every thought and every emotion. What science now calls neuroplasticity is the truth that your brain is not fixed. It is alive, capable of rewiring, capable of renewal as surely as your body is. And through meditation, you can guide this rewiring, shifting from patterns of fear to patterns of strength, from doubt to clarity, from despair to resilience. The brain is not a single voice, but a network of billions of neurons, each carrying signals across synapses, forming pathways through repetition. Every thought you repeat, every habit you practice, every emotion you allow to dominate strengthens certain connections while weakening others. This is why fear can feel automatic, why anger rises before choice, why sadness can linger without end. The brain, like a river, carves channels, and water flows where it has flowed before. But here is the freedom most people never discover. Those channels are not permanent. With attention and repetition, new pathways can be created, stronger and clearer than the old, until the river of your thoughts runs in new directions. Neuroplasticity meditation begins with awareness of these patterns. Close your eyes, turn inward, and watch your thoughts as if they were passing clouds. Do not chase them. Do not force them away. Simply notice their shape. Some will be anxious, looping around what may go wrong. Some will be critical, whispering what you lack. Others will be heavy with sadness or restless with craving. To see them clearly is the first step, because what you can see, you can change. Once awareness is steady, the practice moves to redirection. Choose a thought that carries strength. It may be simple. I am safe. I am capable. I am healing. Repeat it slowly, not as an empty phrase, but as a truth you invite into the nervous system. Feel the words sink into the body, into the breath, into the heart. Each repetition lays down a new pathway, like walking a fresh trail through a forest. At first, the trail is faint, overgrown, but the more you walk it, the clearer it becomes. This is how new networks form. But words alone are not enough. Neuroplasticity thrives on emotion, for emotion is the glue that seals pathways. When you repeat a phrase of strength, connect it with feeling. Picture the warmth of safety, the quiet of strength, the lightness of healing. Let the body respond as if it were already true. Neuroscience shows that when thought and emotion unite, neurons fire together more powerfully, making the new pathway stronger than the old. This is the essence of rewiring, replacing not only thought, but the feeling that supports it. Visualization deepens this process. Picture your brain as a landscape of lights, some flickering with fear, others dim with doubt, some burning brightly with clarity. As you repeat your new thought, see fresh lines of light forming, bright and steady, connecting regions that were once silent. Feel them spreading, strengthening, until the old lights fade into the background and the new glow becomes the dominant map. This is not fantasy. Brain scans confirm that visualization changes structure, increasing connections in areas tied to resilience and calm, while reducing those tied to stress and reactivity. Another practice is deliberate focus. The modern world trains the brain for distraction, scattering attention across endless noise. This weakens pathways of clarity and strengthens pathways of restlessness. Neuroplasticity meditation reclaims focus by training the mind to rest on one object, breath, sound, light, without drifting. Each time attention wanders and you bring it back, you are strengthening circuits of self-control, the same circuits that help you resist destructive habits, calm impulsive reactions, and stay grounded in chaos. Over time, the brain reshapes, attention stabilizes, and distraction loses its hold. Gratitude is another powerful tool for rewiring. When you direct the mind toward appreciation, no matter how small, you activate networks linked to joy, empathy, and hope. At first, it may feel forced, but persistence changes structure. Studies show that people who practice gratitude grow more resilient to stress, with stronger connections in brain regions linked to positive emotion. In meditation, choose 3 things to be grateful for. Hold them in your awareness and let the feeling fill you. This simple practice, repeated daily, reshapes mood at the root, shifting your baseline from scarcity to abundance. Resilience grows when the brain learns to meet difficulty differently. Old patterns often interpret pain as permanent and overwhelming. Neuroplasticity meditation teaches the opposite. By bringing calm awareness to discomfort, whether physical or emotional, you train the brain to tolerate challenge without collapsing into fear. Each time you hold presence with discomfort, neural pathways of courage and patience grow stronger. Over time, what once felt unbearable becomes manageable, and what was once a trigger becomes an opportunity for growth. The Stoics spoke often of training the mind like a muscle, of rehearsing challenges so that adversity would not surprise them. This is neuroplasticity in ancient language. When Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning that he would meet selfish, envious, or angry people, he was not surrendering to despair. He was building pathways of acceptance, rehearsing resilience until it became his natural state. You can do the same. Through meditation, you prepare your brain not to collapse at stress, but to respond with steadiness. It is also essential to address self-identity. The brain constantly rewires around the story you tell about yourself. If that story is one of weakness, the pathways of doubt strengthen. If it is one of strength, pathways of resilience grow. In meditation, repeat a story of yourself that is aligned with healing. I am learning, I am growing, I am stronger each day. At first it may feel false, but every repetition reshapes identity. Over time, the brain comes to believe not the old narrative of pain, but the new narrative of power. There is also the practice of releasing attachment to thought itself. Old pathways strengthen because we identify with every thought as truth. Neuroplasticity meditation teaches that thoughts are just events, patterns of neurons firing, nothing more. When you observe a thought without attaching to it, you weaken the pathway that holds its power. The less you identify, the less energy it carries, and slowly the thought loses strength until it fades into silence. This process is not overnight. Old pathways are deep grooves, carved through years of repetition. But every session of meditation is a stroke of the chisel, reshaping, redirecting, rebuilding. The more consistent the practice, the faster the change. And science assures us, even in later life, the brain retains its plasticity. Healing is not bound by age, renewal is always possible. There will be days when the old patterns return, when fear rises, when sadness weighs heavily. Do not despair. Each time you choose awareness, each time you redirect, you are still training. Even setbacks strengthen resilience, teaching the brain not that you are broken, but that you can return again and again to the path of healing. Over time, you will notice the difference. Worries that once consumed hours fade within minutes. Triggers that once provoked anger lose their force. Moods that once seemed endless lift more quickly. This is not coincidence. It is the rewiring of your brain, the building of new maps where peace is stronger than chaos, where strength is louder than fear. And there is a final gift. Neuroplasticity meditation does not only heal what is broken, it expands what is possible. As the brain reshapes, creativity grows, insight sharpens, compassion deepens. You begin not only to endure life, but to engage it more fully, to see new choices, new paths, new ways of being. The mind becomes not a prison of old patterns, but a garden of new growth, alive, fertile, unbounded. So now, as you rest in this moment, feel the quiet power of your brain rewiring beneath the surface. With every breath, new pathways are forming. With every focus, new strength is building. With every choice to return, the old circuits weaken and the new expand. This is not theory. This is happening now. You are reshaping not only your thoughts but your future, crafting a mind that serves you, a brain that supports you, a resilience that will carry you through every storm yet to come. As the pathways of the brain begin to reshape and strengthen, thought patterns shift, moods soften, and resilience grows. Yet even with a mind rewired toward clarity, there is another center of intelligence that cannot be ignored. For while the brain governs thought, the heart carries its own rhythm, its own wisdom, and its own language. Many people feel the tug-of-war between these two forces every day, reason pulling in one direction, emotions in another, leaving them divided, unsettled, and exhausted. True harmony is not born from silencing one and obeying the other, but from uniting both into coherence, a state where heart and brain move as one, guiding life with balance and strength. Meditation is the bridge to this state, restoring a connection that most have forgotten, but all are capable of experiencing. The heart is not only a pump of blood, but a source of signals that reach the brain with immense influence. Research has shown that the heart contains its own nervous system, sometimes called the little brain of the heart. and the rhythm of its beats shapes how the brain processes information, how the body manages stress, and how emotions unfold. When the heart beats irregularly, scattered by stress or fear, the brain receives chaotic signals and clarity dissolves. But when the heart falls into a steady rhythm, especially one guided by calm breath, the brain responds with stability, focus, and ease. This state of harmony is what is known as heart-brain coherence, and through meditation, you can learn to enter it at will. To begin, you bring awareness to the area of the heart, not by forcing thoughts into it, but by gently placing attention there, as if listening to its quiet presence. Let your breath become slow and steady, inhaling for a count of 5, exhaling for a count of 5. This rhythm is not arbitrary. It aligns with the natural frequencies that bring heart and nervous system into balance. As you sustain this pattern, notice how your chest softens, how tension releases, how your whole body begins to feel as though it is being guided by a single calm wave. The next step is to add emotion. The heart thrives not only on rhythm, but on feeling. Choose one emotion that nourishes you: gratitude, care, love, appreciation, and allow it to rise as you breathe. You do not need a reason. Simply call it forth, even if faint. As the emotion grows, it alters the signals the heart sends, shifting the body into a state of coherence where all systems begin to synchronize. Blood pressure steadies, hormones regulate, the nervous system calms. What feels like a subtle shift within is in fact a profound transformation of physiology, all sparked by breath and focus. When practiced regularly, this coherence becomes a new baseline. Instead of reacting to stress with chaos, your body learns to respond with order. The brain, receiving steady input from the heart, interprets challenges more calmly. Decisions become clearer, and emotions feel less overwhelming. You begin to notice that situations that once triggered anger or panic now meet with a calm steadiness. This is not suppression, it is balance, the integration of emotion with thought, heart with mind. It is here that the Stoics and modern science converge. The Stoics taught that reason must guide emotion, but they also knew that emotion could strengthen reason when trained. Heart-brain coherence is the living practice of that teaching. By uniting breath, feeling, and thought, you no longer swing between extremes but stand in the middle, grounded, present, unshaken. Beyond personal peace, this practice has another gift. The signals from the heart extend beyond your body, shaping how others feel in your presence. Studies suggest that the electromagnetic field of the heart can influence people around you, calming or unsettling them depending on your state. When you cultivate coherence, you radiate steadiness, and others sense it without words. This is why some people feel safe around you, why others are drawn to you in times of stress. Coherence is not only healing for you, it is healing for everyone you touch. Practical exercises deepen this practice. Begin with simple sessions of 5 minutes, focusing on breath and gratitude. Gradually extend them to longer periods, making coherence not only a meditation, but a daily habit. Use it before stressful conversations, before making important decisions, before sleep. Each time you enter coherence, you train your nervous system to return there more quickly, until it becomes natural, effortless. Over time, coherence reshapes not only the body, but the mind's story. Where once you may have believed emotions were uncontrollable storms, you begin to see them as waves guided by rhythm. Where once you felt trapped between logic and feeling, you discover they can work together. This realization changes everything. Relationships deepen, clarity expands, and purpose feels stronger. It is important to recognize that coherence does not mean numbness. You will still feel sorrow, anger, or fear, but instead of being drowned by them, you will ride their currents with steadiness. Your brain will interpret them not as threats, but as information, and your heart will guide you back to balance each time. This is resilience, not as an idea, but as a living skill woven into every beat of your heart. The more you practice, the more you will notice coherence arising spontaneously. A stressful event may occur, and instead of panic, you feel a breath slow in your chest, a steadiness in your heart, a clarity in your mind. This is coherence taking root, transforming not only meditation, but life itself. And beneath all of this lies a simple truth. The body longs for harmony. Given the right rhythm, the right focus, it will always move toward balance. Heart-brain coherence is not something foreign you must create, but something natural you must uncover. It is already within you, waiting for your breath, your attention, your willingness to listen. So, as you rest here, breathe gently, place awareness in your chest, call forth gratitude, and feel the rhythm settle. Let the heart and brain speak the same language, a language of calm, of clarity, of unity. Hold this state not as a fleeting moment, but as a way of being, carried with you into every challenge, every joy, every breath. And know that in this harmony, you are stronger, steadier, and more whole than you have ever been. When the rhythm of the heart and the clarity of the brain begin to move together, a deeper stability is born. The body starts to understand what harmony feels like, but there is still a greater system that decides whether you stay in calm or slip back into restlessness. This system lies within a single nerve that stretches from the brain down into the chest, lungs, stomach, and intestines. It is the vagus nerve, and it acts as the master switch of rest and repair. When it is weak, stress floods the body. The heart races, digestion falters, and the immune system suffers. When it is strong, the body recovers quickly, emotions stabilize, and the mind feels clear. Few people realize that you can train this nerve directly, and meditation offers the tools to do it. Strengthening vagal tone is one of the most powerful ways to unlock resilience and healing. The vagus nerve controls the parasympathetic nervous system, the branch that slows the heart, deepens the breath, and turns the body from survival mode into healing mode. Its health is measured by vagal tone, the ability of the nerve to regulate heart rate and calm stress responses. Low vagal tone is linked to anxiety, inflammation, poor immunity, and even chronic illness. High vagal tone, on the other hand, is associated with emotional stability, stronger immunity, better sleep, and a longer life. The good news is that tone is not fixed. Just like a muscle, it can be strengthened with the right practices. One of the most effective ways to activate the vagus nerve is through breath. Slow, deep breathing sends signals through the vagus nerve that the body is safe, reducing the production of stress hormones and allowing repair to begin. Breathing at a rhythm of about 6 breaths per minute, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, creates a resonance between the heart and the nervous system that maximizes vagal activation. Each inhale gently stimulates the nerve. Each exhale extends its calming influence, training the body to shift more easily into relaxation. Over time, this rhythm becomes a habit, and the body learns to default toward calm, even during stress. Sound is another direct pathway. The vagus nerve runs through the throat and inner ear, meaning that humming, chanting, or repeating mantras can stimulate it. These vibrations activate nerve fibers, creating relaxation while also producing nitric oxide, a molecule that dilates blood vessels and improves circulation. Chanting a word like Om, or even humming a soft note for several minutes daily, has been shown to improve vagal tone, lower heart rate, and reduce anxiety. Singing, especially in groups, combines vibration with social bonding, further boosting the nerve's strength. This is why traditions across cultures use chant and song as medicine. It is not only symbolic, it is physiological. Posture and movement also play an important role. The vagus nerve connects closely with the diaphragm, so sitting upright with the chest open and the stomach relaxed allows fuller breathing and better stimulation of the nerve. Gentle movements such as yoga, tai chi, or slow stretching further engage this system, especially when combined with breath awareness. Even the act of lying on the back with one hand on the chest and one on the stomach while breathing deeply is a posture that signals safety to the nervous system. Cold exposure is another method, though it must be approached carefully. Splashing the face with cold water or briefly ending a shower with cool water stimulates the vagus nerve through receptors in the skin, signaling the body to activate its calming branch. Over time, this trains the nervous system to recover more quickly from stress. The same principle explains why practices like deep relaxation in cool environments build resilience. They challenge the system in a controlled way, teaching it to return to balance. Meditation enhances all these practices by adding focused attention. When you pair breath, sound, or posture with awareness, you deepen the effect on the nervous system. Direct your focus to the flow of breath, the vibration of sound, or the sensation of calm spreading through the chest and abdomen. This amplifies the brain's engagement with the vagus nerve, strengthening the connection between mind and body. Visualization can also help, picturing a wave of relaxation flowing down from the brain into the chest and stomach, softening and steadying each region. This imagery aligns with the actual pathways of the vagus nerve, reinforcing the body's own signals of safety. Another layer is the connection between the vagus nerve and the immune system. This nerve regulates inflammation through what is called the cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway. When tone is high, the vagus nerve can suppress excessive inflammation, protecting tissues and supporting healing. This explains why stress, which weakens vagal activity, is often linked to illness, while practices that increase tone improve immune strength. By training vagal tone through meditation, you are not just calming the mind, you are activating the body's defenses at their root. The vagus nerve also influences emotional health. It carries signals from the body to the brain about internal states, shaping how emotions are felt and processed. When tone is weak, emotions can feel overwhelming, like storms that cannot be managed. When tone is strong, the brain interprets these signals more calmly, allowing emotions to pass without destabilizing the whole system. This is why people with higher vagal tone recover more quickly from sadness, anger, or fear. Through meditation, you are teaching your body not to silence emotions, but to move through them with steadiness. Social connection strengthens the vagus nerve as well. Smiling, eye contact, gentle touch, all of these behaviors activate the nerve, which is why relationships are protective for health. Meditation on compassion or loving kindness builds similar effects internally. By focusing on feelings of care toward yourself and others, you activate the same pathways that are engaged in warm human connection, increasing vagal tone even when alone. This is one reason why compassion meditation is linked to improved physical health. It directly stimulates the body's core relaxation system. Consistency is the key to building tone. Just as a muscle grows stronger through regular exercise, the vagus nerve requires repeated activation. 5 minutes of breathwork, humming, or heart-focused meditation daily can produce measurable changes within weeks. Over months, these changes become ingrained, altering not only how you feel, but how your body responds to every challenge. Stress that once took hours to recover from may now fade within minutes. Illness that once lingered may heal more quickly. Your body learns to spend more time in repair and less in defense. The Stoics spoke of remaining steady amid the storms of life. Vagal tone is the biological foundation of that steadiness. When the nerve is strong, external chaos no longer overwhelms internal order. Breath stays calm, the heart stays steady, the mind stays clear. In this way, training the vagus nerve is not only a health practice, but a spiritual discipline, aligning body and mind with the resilience the Stoics celebrated. As you rest now, notice your breath. Let it slow, steady, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Feel the chest expand and release. Add a soft hum on the exhale, letting the vibration ripple through your throat and chest. Sense the calm spreading, a signal carried by the vagus nerve through every organ, every cell. Know that with each breath, each vibration, each posture of ease, you are strengthening the system that governs peace. You are building resilience, not in theory, but in physiology, creating a body and mind that know how to return to calm, no matter the storm. And this skill, once cultivated, stays with you, a strength that protects, restores, and renews throughout life. As the vagus nerve grows stronger and your body learns to shift into calm with greater ease, something profound begins to happen. The signals between your organs and your mind become clearer, smoother, more balanced. One of the most important relationships in this network is the dialogue between your gut and your brain. For centuries, people have spoken about a gut feeling, a knowing in the stomach that cannot be explained by reason alone. Modern science now confirms this wisdom. The gut is not just for digestion, it is a second brain, a vast network of neurons and microbes that speak directly to the mind. When this dialogue is in harmony, you feel clear, balanced, resilient. When it is disrupted, you feel foggy, anxious, or weighed down, no matter how sharp your thoughts might be. Meditation is one of the most direct ways to heal this axis, aligning the rhythms of breath with the rhythms of digestion, creating a channel of communication that restores health to both body and mind. The gut-brain axis is built on a two-way highway. The brain influences digestion through nerves and hormones, while the gut sends constant feedback about nutrients, inflammation, and even mood. In fact, most of the body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood and sleep, is produced in the gut. When digestion falters, serotonin balance shifts, and the mind feels the weight of imbalance. This is why anxiety often comes with stomach upset, why stress can trigger ulcers, and why poor digestion often coincides with depression. The gut and mind are partners. When one suffers, the other cannot function fully. Meditation restores alignment by calming the nervous system, which allows digestion to function without interference. Stress pulls energy away from the gut, shutting down proper absorption and motility. Slow breathing, however, activates the parasympathetic branch through the vagus nerve, sending energy back to the stomach and intestines. Each calm breath says to the gut, it is safe to do your work. Over time, this reduces inflammation, improves nutrient absorption, and restores the balance of microbes that support mood and immunity. Breathwork is central here. Deep diaphragmatic breathing massages the organs, stimulating circulation and lymph flow around the intestines. When you inhale fully, the diaphragm moves downward, compressing the stomach gently. When you exhale, it rises, releasing pressure. This movement activates receptors in the gut lining and strengthens communication with the brain. By making breath smooth and continuous, you create a steady rhythm that teaches both systems to synchronize. The body begins to pair calm breathing with calm digestion, rewiring patterns that may have been broken by years of stress. Awareness amplifies this effect. As you breathe, bring attention to the stomach area. Notice sensations without judgment, the warmth, the subtle movements, the release of tension. This directs neural focus to the gut, strengthening brain maps of the area. Many people live disconnected from their stomach, numbed by years of ignoring signals of hunger, fullness, or discomfort. By listening, you restore the mind's awareness of the gut, giving it permission to function fully. Visualization adds another layer. As you breathe into the stomach, picture golden light filling the area, spreading warmth and ease. See this light reaching every fold of the intestines, soothing inflammation, restoring balance. Picture communication lines between gut and brain glowing brighter, carrying signals of safety and clarity. This imagery is not empty. Studies show that visualization influences blood flow and nerve activity, helping restore balance where the body needs it most. Meditation also reshapes the microbiome indirectly. Stress hormones disturb the delicate ecosystem of bacteria in the gut, favoring harmful strains over beneficial ones. When you reduce stress through meditation, cortisol lowers and conditions become favorable for healthy bacteria to thrive. These microbes then produce neurotransmitters and short-chain fatty acids that calm inflammation and improve mood. In this way, every meditation session not only eases the mind, but also cultivates a healthier microbial community inside you. The gut-brain connection also explains why emotions can feel heavy in the stomach. Fear may tighten it, grief may hollow it, joy may make it flutter. By breathing with awareness into this region, you allow emotions to process through the body instead of getting stuck. Many emotional patterns are held in the gut, and without release, they shape digestion for years. Meditation provides a safe channel for these feelings to surface, transform, and pass, freeing both stomach and mind from their grip. Diet and meditation complement one another here. While food provides the raw materials, meditation ensures the system is calm enough to process them effectively. Even the most nourishing meal cannot help if stress shuts down absorption. By practicing meditation before eating, slowing the breath and softening the stomach, you prepare the gut to receive food with openness rather than tension. This simple ritual can transform digestion, allowing nutrients to flow where they are needed. Another valuable practice is mindful attention to sensations after eating. Instead of rushing, pause and notice how the stomach feels as food is digested. This builds awareness of which foods support balance and which cause disruption, strengthening the connection between choices and consequences. Over time, you become more sensitive to the gut's signals, able to guide diet and lifestyle with intuition supported by clear feedback. Meditation for gut-mind alignment also benefits clarity of thought. Brain fog, often caused by gut imbalance, lifts as communication restores. When the gut functions smoothly, inflammatory signals to the brain reduce, and neural circuits for memory and focus operate more efficiently. People often report sharper concentration, calmer decision-making, and improved creativity after consistent practice. This is not coincidence, but physiology. The brain depends on the gut's health to function at its best. There is also a profound emotional dimension. Many traumas and anxieties are felt in the gut long before they are processed in the brain. By breathing into the stomach and aligning awareness there, you create a safe space for unprocessed emotions to surface gently. This practice does not overwhelm but integrates, giving the nervous system a chance to update itself. The Stoics spoke of endurance and clarity, and here it meets biology. By aligning gut and mind, you build the foundation for resilience at both physical and emotional levels. Social connection, too, is influenced by this axis. The gut produces neurotransmitters that shape empathy, social comfort, and bonding. When imbalance disrupts these chemicals, isolation and anxiety often follow. By restoring alignment through meditation, you support the chemistry of connection, making relationships feel easier, more open, more genuine. In this way, the benefits ripple outward from body to community, from personal health to shared experience. Consistency, as always, is the key. Just a few minutes of focused breathwork into the gut each day begins to rewire communication. Over weeks, symptoms of digestive discomfort ease, clarity strengthens, and mood stabilizes. Over months, the body establishes a new baseline where gut and brain operate in partnership, not conflict. What once felt like constant battle becomes effortless flow. The final truth is that healing the gut is healing the foundation of the self. Every cell of the body depends on nutrients processed here, and every thought of the mind is influenced by the signals carried upward. By aligning gut and mind through meditation, you do not simply heal one system, you heal the entire organism. Breath by breath, focus by focus, you restore the dialogue that nature designed, a dialogue of harmony, strength, and clarity that guides you toward wholeness. So, as you settle deeper now, let the breath flow smoothly. Let awareness rest in the stomach. Let calm spread through the body. Feel the gut responding, softening, opening communication with the mind. With every exhale, tension leaves. With every inhale, clarity rises. This is the gut speaking to the brain in the language of balance. And as you continue, you carry within you the knowledge that healing is not only possible, but happening now, quietly, steadily, in the depths of your body and the clarity of your mind. As the gut begins to find harmony with the mind and the flow of communication strengthens, a deeper question arises. If breath and awareness can calm organs, reshape microbes, and clear thoughts, what else within us can be shifted? Beneath the level of the gut, beneath even the level of cells, lies the code that shapes how your body expresses itself day after day. This code is written in your DNA, yet it is not as fixed as many were once taught to believe. The emerging field of epigenetics has revealed that genes are not destiny. They are instructions that respond to environment, lifestyle, and even intention. Meditation, when practiced with focus and visualization, can activate this hidden potential, influencing gene expression and unlocking healing long thought impossible. Epigenetics shows that while you inherit a genetic script, it is how that script is read that matters most. Every gene has switches that turn it on or off, amplify or quiet it, depending on the signals it receives. Stress, diet, sleep, and environment all send messages to these switches, shaping how your body functions in real time. But one of the most powerful influences is the state of the mind. Chronic fear or anger can activate genes linked to inflammation and disease, while calm, focus, and gratitude support genes linked to repair and resilience. Through meditation, you are not only calming thoughts, but sending direct instructions to your genetic machinery. The practice of epigenetic meditation begins with intention. Intention is not just thought. It is focused energy directed toward a clear outcome. When you enter meditation with a strong, coherent intention, such as healing, renewal, or strength, you are shaping the biochemical environment in which your genes operate. Neurons fire in alignment with that vision, hormones shift to support it, and gene switches respond accordingly. Science has shown that practices like mindfulness, compassion meditation, and visualization can alter gene expression within weeks, reducing inflammatory markers and increasing resilience proteins. This is not symbolic. It is biological reality. Visualization strengthens intention. As you settle into stillness, focus on the area of the body that needs healing. Picture it bathed in light, not a vague glow, but a vibrant energy that penetrates to the level of DNA. See strands of genetic code unwinding, like threads loosening, and then realigning in harmony. Picture dormant genes for repair awakening, while overactive genes of stress and inflammation grow quiet. The mind may not see DNA directly, but neurons respond to imagery as if it were real, and the signals they send shape the cellular environment where genes read their instructions. Breath is the bridge. Each slow inhale brings oxygen that fuels energy production. Each exhale carries away toxins that interfere with cellular balance. As you breathe with awareness, picture each cycle clearing the space around your genes, giving them room to operate without interference. Over time, this rhythm stabilizes hormone levels, reduces cortisol, and increases the availability of growth and repair factors. In this environment, genes for healing thrive. Gratitude is a powerful signal for epigenetic change. When you call forth gratitude in meditation, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, lower inflammation, and increase levels of oxytocin, the hormone of connection and safety. These shifts in chemistry directly influence which genes are expressed. By sustaining gratitude daily, you create a genetic profile more favorable to longevity and health. Researchers have found that even brief practices of gratitude can alter gene expression in immune cells, proving that thought and feeling shape biology down to its code. Epigenetic meditation also involves releasing limiting beliefs about identity. Many people carry stories of illness or weakness as if they are written permanently into their DNA. Meditation allows you to see these stories as mental constructs, not absolute truth. As you release them, you create space for new stories, stories of strength, growth, and renewal that align with healthier genetic expression. The brain responds to belief as if it were instruction, and the body follows. In this way, identity is not just psychological but biological, shaping which genes are called forth. Consistency builds momentum. One meditation may shift chemistry briefly, but repeated practice creates long-term epigenetic change. Just as repeated stress engraves patterns of illness, repeated intention engraves patterns of healing. Over weeks and months, the genetic environment stabilizes, and the body begins to express itself in line with your chosen vision. Studies have shown that people who meditate regularly have longer telomeres, the protective caps on DNA, indicating slower cellular aging. This suggests that epigenetic meditation not only heals the present, but also extends the future. It is important to approach this practice with patience. Genetic change is subtle, unfolding over time as the body receives consistent signals. You may not feel transformation instantly, but beneath the surface, genes are adjusting, proteins are shifting, and tissues are rebuilding. Trust is essential. The Stoics spoke of aligning with nature, of living in harmony with what is within our control. Here, meditation is your way of aligning with your deepest nature, guiding your genes to operate in harmony with your intention. Practical steps strengthen the practice. Begin each session by setting a clear intention. One phrase that encapsulates your vision, such as, "My body is renewing," or "My mind is clear." Hold this phrase gently as you breathe, letting it sink beneath thought into the body. Add visualization of DNA glowing with light, switches clicking into balance, repair pathways opening. Layer in gratitude, sending thanks not only to the body as a whole, but to the very code that sustains you. Feel this gratitude as deeply as you can, knowing that the emotion itself is a messenger to your genes. Over time, you will notice shifts. Energy stabilizes, sleep improves, mood lifts, pain softens. These are not illusions, but reflections of deeper biological change. Your body is responding to new instructions, rewriting its script according to your intention. In this way, meditation becomes not only a practice of peace, but a practice of creation. You are no longer a passive carrier of genetic fate. You are an active participant in genetic expression. Epigenetic meditation also teaches responsibility. If thoughts and emotions can harm, they can also heal. By choosing focus, gratitude, and vision, you are shaping not only your own body, but the legacy you carry forward. Some epigenetic changes are heritable, meaning the patterns you cultivate may influence generations to come. This truth deepens the weight of practice. Every session is not only for you, but for those who follow, a gift written into the code of life itself. So as you rest here, breathe steadily, hold your intention clearly, and let visualization unfold. Picture your genes responding like instruments tuning to harmony, shifting away from noise and into coherence. Know that your awareness is not powerless, but a force that reaches into the smallest structures of your being. With every breath, every focused thought, every wave of gratitude, you are rewriting your biology. You are awakening healing potentials that have always been within you, waiting for your attention to call them forth. And with this practice, you step into the truth that you are both the author and the reader of your genetic story, free to guide it toward health, vitality, and wholeness. As the understanding deepens that intention and visualization can reach down into the code of your being and influence the very way your genes express themselves, a new horizon opens. If the deepest structures of your biology are flexible, then even the patterns of pain that feel carved into the body can be softened. For many people, pain becomes the background music of life, steady, relentless, and draining. It steals focus, reduces movement, and colors every moment with heaviness. Medication may numb it for a while, distraction may cover it, but the truth is that chronic pain is as much about how the nervous system interprets signals as it is about the signals themselves. This means the way you meet those signals matters more than you think. Micro-moment meditations are a way to retrain your nervous system to perceive pain differently, to interrupt cycles of suffering with brief but powerful bursts of awareness. and to build mobility and relief into the fabric of daily life. Pain is not only a physical event, it is a construction of the brain. Nerves send information from the body, but the brain decides whether that information will be amplified as suffering or softened into manageable sensation. Chronic pain develops when the nervous system becomes hypersensitive, reacting even to safe signals as if they were threats. This hypersensitivity builds through repetition as pathways of pain strengthen like trails walked too often. The beauty of micro-moment meditation is that it works like stepping off that trail for even a few breaths, creating alternative paths and teaching the brain that not every signal must be met with alarm. The key lies in timing. You do not wait for long meditation sessions to ease pain. You weave awareness into the very moments when discomfort arises, when the ache flares as you stand, when tension builds as you sit, when throbbing begins as you walk. These are the doorways. Instead of tightening against it or drowning in frustration, pause for a single mindful breath. Inhale slowly, noticing the expansion in the chest. Exhale fully, sensing the release of tension. That single breath shifts the nervous system out of fight or flight, reducing the cascade of stress chemicals that amplify pain. Repeated throughout the day, these small pauses retrain the system toward calm, lowering the volume of pain's voice. Attention is another tool. Chronic pain thrives on resistance. The more you push it away, the louder it grows. Micro-moment meditation turns attention into softness. Direct awareness toward the area of discomfort, not as an enemy, but as a messenger. Describe it silently: warm, sharp, dull, tight. By labeling without judgment, you shift processing from the emotional centers of the brain to the analytical ones, reducing suffering. Neuroscience shows that mindful attention changes how the brain perceives pain, decreasing activation in regions linked to fear and increasing activity in those linked to control. Movement, when paired with micro-moments, becomes medicine. Each time you rise, stretch, or shift position, add one mindful breath. Feel the sensation of muscles lengthening, joints opening, circulation improving. Chronic pain often leads to fear of movement, reinforcing stiffness and weakness. By linking motion with mindfulness, you reassure the body that movement is safe, gradually restoring confidence and mobility. Over weeks, the brain rewires to see movement not as threat, but as release, easing both pain and fear together. Sound can also anchor micro-moments. A gentle hum, a whispered mantra, or even soft chanting stimulates the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system and reducing pain perception. Just a few seconds of vibration through the throat can redirect attention away from the ache and into rhythm, giving the brain a new focus. These moments require no special setting, only the willingness to pause and hum under your breath, whether in bed, at work, or while walking. Visualization adds depth. In the instant pain arises, close your eyes briefly and picture the area bathed in warmth or light. See tight muscles softening, nerves quieting, blood flowing freely. This image signals the brain to associate the painful region not with fear, but with healing. The body responds by relaxing, reducing tension that often worsens pain. Practiced regularly, these visualizations reshape neural maps, teaching the brain to interpret signals differently. Gratitude, even in the face of pain, is transformative. During a micro-moment, instead of focusing solely on the discomfort, place attention on what still works. Thank your legs for carrying you, your lungs for breathing, your heart for beating. This shift does not deny pain, but balances it, activating neural circuits of appreciation that counterbalance those of distress. Over time, gratitude reshapes mood, reducing the emotional weight that makes pain harder to bear. Another element is breath ratio. Extending the exhale slightly longer than the inhale stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering heart rate and calming tension. Try inhaling for 4 counts and exhaling for 6. In just a few cycles, the nervous system shifts toward rest and pain perception decreases. This ratio can be applied anytime, silently, without anyone noticing, making it ideal for micro moments woven into daily routine. The Stoics spoke of enduring pain without surrendering to it, of meeting suffering with courage rather than despair. Micro-moment meditation echoes this wisdom. It does not promise that pain will vanish, but it teaches that pain does not need to rule. Each pause, each breath, each shift in awareness is an act of reclaiming authority over your body and mind. You may not erase every ache, but you reduce its power to define your life. Consistency transforms micro moments from small tools into a new way of being. At first, it may feel like scattered pauses, one breath here, a hum there. But as days pass, these pauses accumulate, building new neural patterns of calm and resilience. The nervous system learns that safety is available at any moment, not only in long retreats or special settings. This shift creates a baseline of stability, making pain less dominant and life more spacious. It is also important to celebrate progress, no matter how subtle. When you notice pain easing after a breath, acknowledge it. When mobility feels smoother after mindful movement, honor it. These acknowledgements reinforce the new pathways, telling the brain, this works, keep doing it. Over time, pain that once consumed every thought may shrink into the background, replaced by moments of ease you once thought impossible. Micro-moment meditation also creates a ripple effect beyond pain. The same practices that ease discomfort also reduce anxiety, improve focus, and support sleep. Each small pause stabilizes the nervous system, benefiting every aspect of health. What begins as a tool for pain becomes a way of living with greater balance, clarity, and strength. So now, as you rest, know that relief is not only in distant solutions, but in the moments already within reach. A single breath, a soft hum, a shift of awareness, a brief visualization. These are not small acts, they are rewiring signals. Every micro moment is a seed of change, and with repetition, those seeds grow into resilience. Chronic pain no longer needs to be the constant ruler of your experience. With awareness, you train your nervous system to soften its grip, opening space for mobility, peace, and freedom woven into the fabric of everyday life. As micro moments of awareness begin to shift the body's relationship with pain and bring relief where suffering once seemed constant, another truth reveals itself. Pain is not only physical. Many people live caught in loops of emotional states that feel just as relentless, repeating again and again until they become almost addictive. Anger that rises at the slightest trigger, sadness that clings long after the moment has passed, worry that circles endlessly even when nothing is wrong. These are not random occurrences. They are patterns etched into the nervous system through years of repetition, patterns that the brain and body cling to as if they were familiar companions. To truly free yourself, you must learn how to repattern these emotional addictions, breaking free from the pull of old reactions and choosing new states of mind that liberate instead of confine. Meditation is the most powerful tool for this transformation. Emotional addiction is not about weakness, but about conditioning. Each time you react with anger, fear, or shame, the brain releases chemicals that the body becomes accustomed to. Over time, the body begins to crave those chemicals, pushing the mind to repeat the same emotional states just to feel normal. The cycle becomes self-reinforcing. A thought triggers emotion, emotion triggers chemicals, chemicals reinforce thought. Even when circumstances change, the pattern continues, making it seem as if emotions arise on their own. Breaking this cycle requires conscious awareness and new choices, both of which meditation trains directly. The first step is recognizing the pattern. In meditation, as you settle into stillness, bring attention to the emotions that dominate your days. Notice not just their stories, but their sensations in the body, the tightness of anger, the heaviness of sadness, the flutter of anxiety. By observing them without judgment, you begin to separate from them. You are no longer drowning inside them, but watching them as events. This shift is powerful because what you can observe, you can change. Once awareness is steady, the practice moves toward interruption. When an old emotion arises, pause before reacting. Take one mindful breath, feeling the air move through your nose and chest. This pause interrupts the automatic chain between trigger and reaction. Even a few seconds of space allow the brain to begin rewiring, teaching it that another response is possible. Repetition of this pause, again and again, weakens the old pattern and builds new pathways of choice. Visualization helps reinforce this shift. In meditation, picture yourself meeting a familiar trigger, a harsh word, a stressful moment, a disappointment. See the old emotional wave rising, but instead of surrendering to it, watch yourself breathing, staying calm, responding with clarity. Feel the strength of that new response in your body. The brain processes visualization much like reality, so each rehearsal strengthens the new pathway until it becomes natural in daily life. Another layer is replacing the addictive emotion with a chosen state. Emotions do not vanish into emptiness, they transform. When anger arises, replace it with compassion. When fear appears, replace it with trust. When sadness lingers, replace it with gratitude. In meditation, practice calling forth these liberating states, holding them until the body begins to recognize them as familiar. Over time, the body craves these new chemicals just as it once craved the old, and emotional addiction gives way to emotional freedom. Breath is a constant ally. Each emotional state has a breath pattern. Anger quickens, sadness slows, anxiety shortens. By changing your breath, you send signals that reshape the emotion itself. Slow, steady breathing tells the body it is safe, making fear dissolve. Deep, expansive breathing opens the chest, softening sadness. Balanced breathing steadies anger. In meditation, practice linking each liberating state with its supportive breath, training the nervous system to pair calm patterns with healthier emotions. The Stoics understood this principle. They taught that emotions are not enemies, but impulses that can be guided by reason and practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote of choosing not to be ruled by anger, Seneca of turning fear into courage, Epictetus of redirecting desire toward what is within control. Meditation puts this wisdom into action, giving you the tools to guide emotion consciously instead of being dragged by it unconsciously. Gratitude plays a special role in repatterning. Many addictive emotions stem from a focus on what is lacking or threatening. Gratitude shifts perspective to what is present and supportive. In meditation, bring to mind simple things you appreciate: a steady breath, a supportive friend, a moment of rest. Let the feeling spread through your body, replacing old chemical imprints with new ones. This practice not only breaks cycles of sadness or resentment, but builds resilience, making it harder for those states to dominate again. It is also important to release attachment to identity built around emotion. Many people define themselves by their patterns. I am an anxious person. I am always angry. I am doomed to sadness. These identities strengthen the addiction by making it seem permanent. In meditation, watch these stories as thoughts, not truths. Replace them with identities aligned with freedom. I am learning calm. I am practicing strength. I am choosing joy. Each repetition rewires self-perception, and as the identity changes, the emotions that flow from it also change. Consistency is essential. Emotional addictions are strong because they have been reinforced for years. One meditation may bring temporary relief, but only repeated practice weakens the old networks and strengthens new ones. Each time you observe without reacting, each time you breathe instead of exploding, each time you choose gratitude instead of resentment, you are reshaping the brain and nervous system. Over months, the old emotions lose their grip and new states become natural. Compassion for yourself is crucial in this process. Old emotions may return, triggers may catch you off guard, and reactions may still slip through. Do not meet this with shame. Shame itself is part of the addictive cycle. Instead, treat each slip as another chance to practice. The more gently you return to awareness, the more quickly the body learns that liberation is possible. As this practice deepens, you will notice not only changes in your inner world, but in your outer life. Relationships improve as old reactions soften. Decisions become clearer as emotions no longer cloud judgment. Even the body benefits, since emotional addiction often drives stress, inflammation, and illness. By breaking these cycles, you free not only the mind, but the entire system. And beyond all this lies the gift of choice. No longer bound by old loops, you gain the ability to choose how you feel, how you respond, how you live. This does not mean you never feel sadness or anger, but it means you are no longer their prisoner. You can let them rise and fall without being swept away, and you can call forth states of love, peace, and strength at will. This is true freedom, the freedom to live guided by conscious emotion instead of unconscious addiction. So as you rest now, let awareness settle on your breath. Notice the emotions that linger, not with fear, but with curiosity. Feel the space between the trigger and your response, and in that space, place intention. Choose the state that liberates, and let it fill your body with new energy. With every breath, every choice, you are weakening the old addictions and strengthening the pathways of freedom. And in time, your emotional life becomes not a cycle of repetition, but a canvas of possibility, painted with the colors you choose. As the grip of emotional addictions loosens, and you learn to choose responses that free rather than bind, the body and mind begin to crave deeper states of balance. The nervous system steadies, the heart softens, and the brain rewires itself toward peace. Yet, there is still another level of healing waiting beneath thought, breath, and feeling. It is the realm of vibration, the language that every cell, every organ, and every strand of DNA understands. Long before words existed, there was sound. the heartbeat in the womb, the rhythm of breath, the resonance of voice. These vibrations shaped the body and continue to guide its harmony. Sound frequency healing meditation taps into this ancient code, using tones, mantras, and rhythms to restore order where stress and illness have created dissonance. The body is not silent. It is an orchestra of frequencies. Cells communicate with electrical signals. The heart beats with measurable rhythm. The brain produces waves that shift with state of mind. When harmony prevails, health follows. When noise and imbalance dominate, stress, fatigue, and disease take root. Sound healing works by feeding the body coherent vibrations that remind it of its natural order. Tuning forks, bowls, mantras, or binaural beats each deliver frequencies that align with biological rhythms, guiding cells back into balance. Meditation deepens this process by adding awareness. When you sit in stillness and focus on sound, you amplify its effects. Instead of noise drifting past, the vibration enters deeply, resonating through tissues and nervous system. This resonance is not metaphor, it is measurable. Studies show that specific sound frequencies reduce heart rate, lower blood pressure, and even alter brainwave patterns. When paired with meditation, these shifts become more pronounced, anchoring the body in calm and clarity. Tuning forks are one method. Striking a fork produces a pure tone that resonates at a set frequency. When placed near the body, the vibration travels through tissues, loosening tension and restoring flow. Certain frequencies are linked to specific benefits. Low tones calm the nervous system. Higher tones stimulate clarity and focus. By moving a fork slowly around the body and focusing awareness on the vibration, you can release blockages and re-establish harmony at the cellular level. Mantras carry similar power. Repeating a sound like Om or other sacred syllables creates vibration within the chest and skull, stimulating nerves that connect to the brain and heart. These vibrations activate the vagus nerve, deepen breath, and produce waves of relaxation throughout the body. But mantras also hold symbolic meaning. Their repetition links the conscious mind with timeless patterns of resonance, creating both physiological and spiritual alignment. With meditation, each repetition grows stronger, guiding body and mind toward coherence. Binaural beats offer a modern approach. By playing slightly different tones into each ear, the brain creates a third frequency that aligns with specific states. Low-frequency beats encourage deep relaxation, mid-range support focus. Higher ranges stimulate creativity. Research shows that listening to binaural beats while meditating enhances brainwave entrainment, shifting consciousness into the desired state more quickly. This allows you to drop into calm, focus, or sleep with greater ease, reshaping the nervous system toward healthier rhythms. The science behind sound healing is rooted in resonance. Every system in the body vibrates at a natural frequency. When exposed to coherent sound, disordered frequencies synchronize, much like instruments tuning together. Stress creates noise in these systems, but healing tones remind the body of its original rhythm. This principle, known as entrainment, explains why heartbeat slows with steady drumming, or why chanting relaxes even when words are unknown. Meditation magnifies entrainment by aligning breath and attention with sound, making the shift deeper and more lasting. Sound frequency healing also affects emotions. Trauma often lodges as vibration frozen in the body. Certain tones can shake loose these patterns, allowing them to release gently. People often report waves of emotion rising during sound meditation, tears, laughter, or sighs that bring relief. This is not regression, but liberation, the body letting go of frequencies it has held too tightly. With practice, sound becomes a safe channel for emotional release, reducing the grip of past wounds. On a cellular level, sound influences processes like circulation and repair. Vibrations increase blood flow, move lymph fluid, and support detoxification. Some research suggests that specific frequencies even affect gene expression, activating pathways of renewal. While this field is still growing, ancient traditions have long recognized the power of sound to restore vitality. Meditation allows you to harness this power intentionally, using focused awareness to guide vibration where it is most needed. Breath pairs naturally with sound. Humming on the exhale creates vibration through the chest and sinuses, massaging tissues and calming nerves. Coordinating breath with external tones amplifies entrainment, teaching body and mind to move in rhythm together. By sustaining this practice, you condition your system to return to balance whenever sound arises, even in daily noise like music, nature, or spoken words. Another practice is full-body listening. In meditation, focus not only with the ears, but with the whole body. Feel the vibration in your skin, bones, and organs. This shifts attention away from thought and into sensation, reducing pain and anchoring you in the present. Over time, the body becomes more sensitive to subtle frequencies, allowing you to access deeper levels of calm and connection. Community sound practices add yet another dimension. Group chanting, drumming, or singing produces collective resonance that is stronger than individual practice. When many voices align, heart rates synchronize, brain waves entrain, and participants feel unity beyond words. This shared coherence heals not only individuals but relationships, reminding us of our place in a larger harmony. The Stoics valued music for its ability to order the soul. They believed that sound, when used wisely, aligns emotions and strengthens reason. Sound frequency meditation is the continuation of this wisdom, using tones to train body and mind toward balance. By practicing regularly, you cultivate a state where coherence is not dependent on silence, but accessible through resonance. Daily practice can be brief. A few minutes of humming, chanting, or listening to coherent tones shifts physiology quickly. With consistency, these practices reshape the nervous system, reducing baseline stress and increasing resilience. The more often you return to vibration, the more natural harmony becomes, until even in noise and chaos, you carry an inner rhythm of peace. So now, as you settle into this moment, let sound guide you. Whether it is the steady hum of your own voice, the gentle tone of a fork, or the layered rhythm of binaural beats, focus fully. Feel vibration entering body and mind, loosening tension, aligning rhythms, restoring balance. Know that with each tone, your cells are remembering their natural harmony, and your whole being is learning to resonate with health and clarity. In this resonance, you are not separate parts, but one complete instrument, tuned and whole, vibrating with the music of life itself. As sound begins to restore balance to cells and guide the body back into coherence, another form of resonance calls for attention, one not carried through ears, but through sight. The eyes are not only tools for vision, they are windows into the nervous system, direct pathways into the deepest layers of presence. When two people hold a steady gaze, or when you hold your own reflection without distraction, something shifts beneath the surface. The body quiets, the breath slows, the mind softens, and a deeper connection emerges. Connection to self, to another, and to the moment itself. Meditation with eye-gazing uses this simple yet profound act to heal the nervous system, dissolve barriers, and cultivate the kind of presence that words alone can never create. The eyes carry extraordinary influence over the body. They are extensions of the brain, made of neural tissue that connects directly to the nervous system. Every glance communicates signals that alter heart rate, hormonal balance, and emotional state. This is why a warm gaze can calm a child, why eye contact can build trust in an instant, and why avoiding eyes often signals fear or disconnection. Eye-gazing meditation taps into this biological truth, transforming a natural reflex into a tool for healing. When practiced alone, eye-gazing begins with meeting your own reflection. Sitting before a mirror, look softly into your eyes without judgment. At first, discomfort often arises, old stories, self-criticism, or a sense of strangeness. These reactions reveal the patterns of distance you have built from yourself. By staying with the gaze, breathing steadily, and softening into acceptance, the nervous system begins to shift. What felt unsettling becomes familiar, then soothing. Over time, you develop a sense of safety with your own presence, a foundation for deeper healing. When practiced with another, the effects can be even more powerful. Sitting across from a partner, hold a gentle gaze into their eyes without words. At first, thoughts rush, self-consciousness, fear of judgment, curiosity. But as silence deepens, nervous systems begin to synchronize. Breathing aligns, heart rhythms match, and a profound sense of connection arises. Science shows that sustained eye contact activates the social engagement system through the vagus nerve, calming the body while increasing trust and empathy. This is why eye-gazing has been used in rituals for centuries, to dissolve barriers and create unity beyond speech. In meditation, eye-gazing is not about staring, but about soft presence. The gaze is gentle, open, allowing, without effort. Tension in the eyes or face is released, letting signals flow naturally between body and mind. This openness is what heals. Trauma often teaches the body to avoid eyes, to hide in shame or fear. Meeting the gaze, whether your own or another's, teaches the nervous system that presence is safe. Each session is a small rewiring, weakening patterns of avoidance and strengthening pathways of connection. Emotions often surface in this practice. Tears may come, laughter may rise, or waves of vulnerability may wash over you. This is part of the release. The gaze creates a container of safety where feelings long held beneath the surface can finally rise and pass. By breathing through them without judgment, you allow integration. The nervous system learns it can feel deeply without being overwhelmed, a crucial step in healing. Eye-gazing also reveals layers of identity. As you hold the gaze, you may notice shifts, seeing yourself as childlike, seeing another as both familiar and mysterious, sensing the flow of life behind the eyes rather than the surface mask. These shifts break down rigid identities, reminding you that beneath roles and stories lies shared humanity. This recognition expands compassion both toward yourself and toward others. Visualization can deepen the practice. As you gaze, picture light flowing from your eyes into the other, or from their eyes into you, forming a loop of energy. With yourself, picture light connecting your two reflections, merging into one steady glow. This imagery reinforces the sense of connection, making the nervous system more receptive to trust and openness. Breath is again central. Syncing breath with gaze creates harmony. In partner practice, allow inhales and exhales to align naturally, creating resonance through both eyes and lungs. Alone, breathe deeply while holding your reflection, anchoring awareness in both body and sight. This coordination strengthens the link between nervous system and gaze, making the practice more powerful. The Stoics spoke of presence as the root of strength, of facing life directly without avoidance. Eye-gazing embodies this principle. To hold the gaze is to hold presence itself, to meet reality without turning away. In this sense, it is more than a meditation. It is a training in courage and openness. Each session builds the capacity to remain steady in situations that once felt overwhelming, teaching resilience through direct experience. Over time, eye-gazing transforms relationships. With partners, it builds trust beyond words. With strangers, it fosters empathy and dissolves barriers. With yourself, it heals the split between inner and outer worlds. The practice becomes not only a meditation, but a way of living with greater honesty and connection. Consistency, again, is key. Just a few minutes each day can reshape the nervous system. Over weeks, avoidance softens, presence strengthens, and emotions stabilize. Over months, the effects extend into daily life. You hold eye contact more easily. You feel calmer in social situations. You trust yourself more deeply. The gaze becomes not a challenge, but a natural expression of being. So now, as you rest in this practice, allow your gaze to soften, whether into the eyes of another or into your own reflection. Breathe steadily, release tension, and let presence grow. Notice the shifts within, subtle calm, rising emotion, expanding connection. Hold the gaze gently, without force, and let the nervous system learn what it has always needed to know. That presence is safe, connection is healing, and within the eyes lies a path back to wholeness. As the steady presence of eye-gazing softens the nervous system and restores trust in connection, another doorway into healing begins to open, one that extends beyond the body and beyond relationships, reaching into the natural forces that have always sustained life. The ground beneath your feet, the rivers that flow, the warmth of flame, the air that moves through your lungs. These are not only external elements, they are archetypal energies that live within you. To work with them in meditation is to remember that you are not separate from nature, but made of its essence. Elemental healing meditations awaken this memory, drawing on the balance of earth, water, fire, and air to restore harmony, strength, and embodied wholeness. Earth is the foundation. It offers stability, weight, and grounding. When you focus on earth in meditation, you are calling forth the qualities of steadiness, safety, and presence. Sitting with awareness of the body's contact with the ground, you allow the sense of support to rise through you. Breathing with focus on this contact teaches the nervous system that you are held, not floating in uncertainty, but rooted. Over time, this practice reduces anxiety, strengthens resilience, and restores clarity. You may extend visualization by picturing the body as part of the soil, nourished by the minerals of the earth. This connection is not symbolic alone. Studies show that grounding, even through simple contact with natural surfaces, regulates circadian rhythms and lowers inflammation. Meditation on earth magnifies this effect, embedding stability into both body and mind. Water is fluidity. It represents adaptability, cleansing, and emotional release. In meditation, focusing on water teaches the body to let go of rigidity and flow with life's currents. Breathing in, you may picture cool waves moving through your chest, washing away heaviness. Breathing out, you release what no longer serves you. This rhythm helps dissolve emotional blockages stored in the body, replacing tension with calm movement. Science shows that visualization of water reduces blood pressure and enhances parasympathetic activation, supporting both emotional and physical repair. Practiced consistently, water meditation brings flexibility, helping you adapt to change and move through challenges with grace. Fire is transformation. It holds energy, willpower, and renewal. In meditation, fire is awakened by focusing on warmth in the body, often in the solar plexus or chest. Breathing deeply, you may visualize a steady flame glowing brighter with each inhale, burning away fear, doubt, or stagnation. Exhaling, you release the smoke of what no longer serves you. This practice stimulates vitality, activates motivation, and builds resilience against fatigue. The physiological link is clear. Warmth increases circulation, supports digestion, and signals readiness for action. Fire meditation channels this energy constructively, ensuring that intensity does not overwhelm but empowers. With practice, the flame within becomes a source of strength, guiding decisions and fueling purposeful living. Air is clarity. It symbolizes breath, thought, and communication. Meditation with air focuses on the movement of breath itself, but also on the sense of spaciousness it creates. Each inhale carries freshness. Each exhale creates release. By centering on air, the mind clears, thoughts settle, and focus sharpens. This practice aligns with research showing that controlled breathing alters brainwave patterns, enhancing attention and reducing rumination. Air meditation also supports expression, helping you speak and act with clarity rather than confusion. Over time, you begin to sense openness not only in the lungs, but in the whole field of awareness, a reminder that life flows more easily when you allow space. When these four elements are practiced together, a holistic balance arises. Earth grounds, water soothes, fire energizes, air clarifies. Each compensates for the excess or deficiency of another. Too much rigidity can soften with water. Too much passivity can ignite with fire. Too much chaos can steady with earth. Too much heaviness can lighten with air. Elemental meditation teaches the nervous system to balance these forces, creating resilience that adapts to changing circumstances. The Stoics taught harmony with nature as a guiding principle. They believed that strength arises not from fighting natural forces, but from aligning with them. Elemental meditation is a direct experience of this teaching. By engaging earth, water, fire, and air in practice, you align with the same forces that sustain forests, rivers, mountains, and skies. This alignment brings not only personal healing, but also a sense of belonging to something greater. Ritual can deepen the practice. Begin by setting intention for balance. Breathe deeply, connecting first to earth through awareness of your seat or feet, then to water through the flow of breath, then to fire by sensing inner warmth, and finally to air through spaciousness. Move slowly, allowing each element to leave its imprint before blending them. With repetition, your body learns to shift between these qualities naturally, calling on stability, fluidity, energy, or clarity as needed. Elemental healing also extends into daily life. Walking outdoors, you can anchor to earth through the ground beneath you, water through rivers or rain, fire through sunlight, air through wind. Each encounter becomes a meditation, reinforcing balance in real time. This practice is particularly powerful in times of stress, when simply touching the soil, breathing fresh air, or feeling warmth on the skin can reset the nervous system. As you cultivate this connection, you begin to notice that the elements are not external alone. Earth is in your bones, water in your blood, fire in your metabolism, air in every breath. Meditation reveals this truth directly, showing that you are not separate from nature, but a living expression of it. This recognition brings peace, dissolving the illusion of isolation and restoring wholeness at every level. So now, as you settle into stillness, let your awareness flow through these elemental energies. Feel the steadiness of earth supporting you, the fluidity of water easing you, the vitality of fire empowering you, the clarity of air refreshing you. Hold them not as separate, but as one integrated force, a harmony of nature moving through you. With each breath, each focus, each intention, you are balancing these forces within, weaving together stability, adaptability, energy, and clarity into the fabric of your being. And in this balance, healing unfolds naturally, carrying you deeper into resilience, strength, and presence. As the elements settle into balance and their energies weave stability, flow, vitality, and clarity into your body, another layer of awareness begins to surface. Healing is not only about your present experiences or even the choices you make each day. Beneath your personal story lie deeper imprints carried silently across generations. These are not just family stories or memories told around a table. They live within the nervous system, the cells, and the subconscious. Patterns of fear, grief, or anger that never found release in your ancestors often continue their journey through you. The science of epigenetics confirms what many traditions have always known. Trauma can be inherited, and so can healing. Intergenerational healing meditation is the practice of meeting these unseen burdens, acknowledging them with compassion, and releasing what does not belong to you so that you can live with greater freedom, while also bringing peace to those who came before you and those who will follow after. This practice begins with recognition. Many of the struggles you face do not start with your own life. The anxiety that arises without clear cause, the sadness that feels older than your own story, the patterns of conflict that repeat through your family, these may be echoes of wounds carried forward. Neuroscience shows that stress responses and trauma imprints can alter gene expression, passing heightened vulnerability across generations. Meditation provides the space to step into this awareness, not with fear, but with openness, allowing you to see the threads that tie your experience to those who came before. The first step is grounding yourself in safety. Because ancestral wounds can carry heavy emotion, the body must feel supported before opening. Begin with steady breath, placing attention on the contact of your body with the ground. Let the rhythm of earth steady you, recalling the elemental practice of stability. Once calm is established, you can turn awareness toward what has been inherited. Often, images or feelings arise spontaneously. Faces of ancestors, sensations in the body, or emotions that seem larger than your own. Meditation does not demand that you chase them. It asks that you witness them with compassion. Compassion is central to this work. Many ancestral wounds come from survival. Wars, poverty, oppression, or losses forced your ancestors into patterns of fear or silence. By acknowledging this with kindness rather than judgment, you release the shame that often clings to these wounds. In meditation, you may silently repeat phrases of compassion. I see your pain. I honor your struggle. I release what is not mine to carry. These words, held with sincerity, begin to loosen the weight of inherited trauma. Visualization deepens the process. You may picture a line of ancestors standing behind you, stretching back through time. Each one has carried both gifts and burdens. As you breathe, imagine light flowing through you into them, softening their faces, easing their weight. Then, feel light flowing from them into you, carrying resilience, wisdom, and strength. This exchange allows you to keep what empowers and release what binds. The nervous system responds to this imagery as if the exchange were real, calming stress pathways and embedding a sense of belonging without burden. Breath also plays a healing role. As you inhale, sense that you are drawing in the unfulfilled hopes of your ancestors. As you exhale, release their pain back into the earth, where it can be transformed. This rhythm teaches the body that inherited trauma can move, that it is not frozen permanently in your tissues. Over time, this breathing creates spaciousness, where once there was only heaviness. Another practice is forgiveness. Ancestral wounds often manifest as repeated patterns of conflict within families, abuse, neglect, betrayal. Meditation offers a space to release bitterness that has been handed down. Forgiveness here does not mean excusing harm, but freeing yourself from carrying it. In stillness, you may bring to mind the face of an ancestor or parent who contributed to your suffering. Hold their image gently and say inwardly, I release the need to carry this anger. I choose peace. This choice shifts the emotional charge in your nervous system, weakening the intergenerational cycle. Ritual enhances intergenerational meditation. Lighting a candle, placing a hand on the heart, or speaking the names of ancestors can provide anchors for the practice. These acts signal to the body and mind that this is sacred work, worthy of respect. Ritual does not bind you to the past, but gives structure to releasing it. Over time, such rituals can become personal traditions, reminding you that healing is a living practice, not a single event. Intergenerational meditation also awakens gratitude. Alongside trauma, your ancestors passed down resilience, creativity, and love. By focusing only on wounds, you miss the gifts. In meditation, balance acknowledgement of pain with appreciation of strength. Whisper silently, thank you for surviving. Thank you for your strength. Thank you for the life I now live. This gratitude reshapes your relationship with ancestry, transforming it from a burden into a source of empowerment. The Stoics often reflected on lineage, not as chains of fate, but as reminders of shared humanity. Marcus Aurelius wrote of his teachers and ancestors with gratitude, recognizing both flaws and virtues. In the same spirit, intergenerational healing meditation asks you to face your lineage honestly, taking what serves, releasing what harms, and walking forward with dignity. Science supports the profound impact of this practice. Studies of epigenetic inheritance show that trauma alters stress responses in descendants, but positive practices like mindfulness and compassion can reverse these effects, calming gene expression linked to fear and inflammation. By practicing intergenerational meditation, you are not only soothing your own body, but potentially reshaping the biological inheritance you pass forward. Consistency builds depth. A single session may bring awareness, but repeated practice ingrains peace into the nervous system. Over weeks you may notice less reactivity, greater patience, or a sense of lightness where heaviness once lived. Over months, family interactions may shift subtly. as your own calm presence alters dynamics. Healing ripples outward, not by forcing change on others, but by embodying freedom yourself. The work can be emotional, and that is part of the process. Tears, trembling, or even fatigue may follow sessions. This is not failure, but release, the nervous system letting go of burdens held for generations. Meeting these reactions with rest and gentleness ensures integration. Over time, the body learns that inherited trauma no longer defines it, that new patterns of peace are possible. So now, as you close your eyes and breathe, bring awareness to the unseen line of lives that stand behind you. Feel their presence, their struggles, their gifts. Acknowledge them with compassion, honor them with gratitude, and release what is not yours to carry. Sense the weight lifting, the line softening, the flow of strength moving into you. With every breath, you heal not only yourself, but the echo of generations. And in this healing, you offer a gift forward, a future where freedom is no longer delayed, but lived fully in the present. As the weight of ancestral wounds begins to release and you feel the flow of strength pass down through generations, a new awareness arises. Healing is not only about emotions or memory, but also about the invisible systems within the body that shape how you feel each day. The endocrine system, your network of glands and hormones, is constantly guiding mood, energy, sleep, digestion, and even how your body responds to stress and love. When these delicate rhythms are disrupted, life feels unsteady. You may feel tired while lying awake at night, anxious without cause, or disconnected from vitality. Meditation offers a way to restore balance by calming the nervous system, focusing intention, and sending supportive signals to the glands that regulate hormones. Through breath and visualization, you can help bring your body back into harmony, easing stress, deepening rest, and renewing reproductive and creative energy. Hormones are chemical messengers moving silently through the bloodstream to tell organs how to act. Cortisol rises in moments of pressure, melatonin guides sleep, oxytocin fuels connection, estrogen and testosterone shape reproduction, insulin balances energy. When stress is constant, these signals falter. Cortisol stays high, leaving the body restless. Melatonin is blocked, preventing deep sleep. Reproductive hormones lose rhythm, leading to irregular cycles or lowered vitality. Meditation restores the calm environment these glands require to function well, creating balance not by force, but by alignment. Breath is the first tool. Slow, rhythmic breathing lowers cortisol by activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Inhaling through the nose for a steady count, pausing briefly, and exhaling longer than the inhale trains the body to leave survival mode. As stress hormones drop, glands such as the adrenals and thyroid begin to regulate naturally. Over time, this steady breathing retrains the body to respond to daily life with balance rather than alarm, protecting you from the wear of chronic stress. Visualization deepens the effect. Each gland can be supported by focusing awareness there and picturing light or warmth. Bringing attention to the center of the forehead, you connect with the pineal gland, visualizing soft indigo light that regulates sleep and circadian rhythm. Placing awareness on the throat, you connect with the thyroid, picturing blue light radiating calm energy that balances metabolism and vitality. Directing focus to the chest, you acknowledge the thymus, holding green light that strengthens immunity. Moving awareness to the lower abdomen, you honor the ovaries or testes, picturing orange or red light, restoring reproductive balance. Each visualization is a signal to the body. This system matters. This system can heal. Gratitude adds another layer. Hormones respond not only to physical states, but to emotional ones. When you generate gratitude, oxytocin rises, cortisol drops, and dopamine stabilizes. In meditation, silently thank each gland for its constant work, even when imbalance is present. Thank you, adrenals, for keeping me alive in stress. Thank you, pineal, for guiding me toward rest. Thank you, thyroid, for giving me energy. These affirmations ease tension in the endocrine system, shifting the body away from self-criticism and into cooperation. Movement during meditation also influences hormonal health. Gentle rocking with the breath massages glands and improves circulation. Placing hands over the heart or abdomen creates warmth and touch that stimulate oxytocin, reinforcing calm and safety. Simple postures that open the chest or pelvis increase blood flow to these areas, strengthening their function. Meditation does not always require stillness. Combining mindful movement with breath and visualization enhances hormonal balance. Sound further supports the glands. Humming or chanting vibrates through the chest and throat, directly stimulating the vagus nerve and thyroid. Soft mantras create coherence in the nervous system, allowing hormones to stabilize. Certain frequencies, when paired with meditation, have been shown to influence melatonin production and deepen sleep. By weaving sound into practice, you provide another channel of regulation. Nutrition and lifestyle affect hormones, but meditation helps ensure that the body can receive these supports effectively. Stress often blocks absorption and interferes with signaling. By creating calm through meditation, nutrients from food, light from the sun, and rhythms of rest are more easily integrated. This shows that meditation is not separate from physical care, but amplifies it, making every supportive choice more effective. Emotions play a strong role in endocrine health. Fear and anger trigger cortisol. Grief can suppress reproductive function, and chronic worry disturbs sleep hormones. Meditation provides a safe container for these emotions to surface and pass, preventing them from repeatedly flooding the body with chemical imbalance. Each time you sit with emotion without judgment, the endocrine system receives the message that constant alarm is no longer needed and balance becomes possible. Consistency is essential. Just as hormones follow daily rhythms, meditation must be practiced regularly to influence them. A few minutes each morning and evening create cycles of calm that ripple through the endocrine system. Over weeks, sleep deepens, mood stabilizes, and energy feels steadier. Over months, long-term imbalances begin to correct as glands adapt to the new environment of calm and coherence. The Stoics understood that inner order influences outer life. They trained the mind to meet chaos with calm, a practice that reduced stress long before hormones were understood. Today, meditation continues that wisdom with scientific support, showing that by calming thought and guiding breath, you are shaping not only the mind, but the very chemistry of your body. So now, as you breathe, place gentle attention on the body's inner network. With each inhale, picture fresh energy flowing to the glands. With each exhale, release tension that blocks balance. Hold gratitude for the silent messengers that guide sleep, mood, and vitality. Visualize light and warmth, restoring harmony through the entire system. Know that you are not helpless before imbalance. Your awareness is medicine. Your breath is regulation. Your intention is renewal. With steady practice, hormonal balance becomes not a fragile hope, but a living reality, carried into each moment of your life. As balance returns to the endocrine system and the invisible rhythms of hormones begin to find harmony, another truth becomes clear. The body's to defend and repair itself is not separate from the mind. Each thought, each breath, each moment of calm or stress directly shapes how well your immune system responds. When you feel safe, the body devotes energy to healing. When you feel threatened, it shifts resources to survival, leaving less strength for defense. This connection is why constant stress weakens immunity, but also why meditation can strengthen it. Immunity-boosting visualization. Meditation trains the mind to work with the body's defenses, using imagination not as escape, but as instruction, guiding the immune system toward greater power and precision. The immune system is vast, made of countless cells moving through blood and tissues like guardians of health. White blood cells patrol, seeking out viruses, bacteria, and damaged cells. When they function well, illness is prevented before symptoms appear, but when they are weakened by stress or imbalance, defenses falter. Meditation provides a way to direct awareness toward these cells, awakening their activity through focus and visualization. The brain cannot always distinguish between imagined and real events. When you picture healing vividly, neural pathways fire as if it were happening. This response influences chemistry, hormones, and even immune function. Begin with grounding breath. Slow inhalations bring oxygen to fuel the immune system. Steady exhalations clear stress hormones that suppress it. As the breath stabilizes, picture your bloodstream as a flowing river of light. Within it, see countless points of brightness, your white blood cells, moving with purpose. Focus on their movement, their intelligence, their tireless work. Even if the image feels vague, intention activates the nervous system, which in turn signals the immune network to respond. Visualization can be directed towards specific areas of need. If you feel illness arising, picture armies of light gathering around the affected region, surrounding it with strength. If a wound or chronic weakness exists, picture cells arriving like healers, repairing tissue and clearing damage. The mind's focus directs the body's resources. Research shows that visualization can increase immune markers and speed recovery. With repetition, the body learns to associate awareness with activation, making your focus a tool for repair. Gratitude amplifies this practice. Thank the cells for their endless service. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for repairing me. Thank you for never resting. This gratitude is more than symbolic. It shifts emotional state, lowering cortisol and boosting immune supportive hormones. Each time you cultivate appreciation, the immune system receives the message that the body is safe, allowing it to focus on healing rather than defense. Color imagery can also support visualization. White or golden light is often used to represent purity and healing, spreading through blood and tissues to cleanse and protect. Some people find blue light soothing inflammation, green light renewing growth, or violet light clearing imbalance. The specific color matters less than the feeling it evokes. What is essential is consistency. The nervous system responds to repeated signals, and over time, these associations grow stronger, directly influencing immune resilience. Breath and visualization can be paired for greater effect. Inhale while picturing fresh waves of light entering the bloodstream. Exhale while picturing toxins or damaged cells dissolving and leaving the body. This rhythm creates a cycle of renewal, teaching both mind and body that with every breath, repair is happening. Sound can further enhance immune meditation. Soft humming or chanting not only vibrates through the chest, stimulating the vagus nerve, but also adds resonance to visualization. As you create sound, picture it fueling the white blood cells, giving them greater strength. This combination of vibration and imagery engages multiple systems: nervous, circulatory, and immune, reinforcing the message of healing. This practice also helps with prevention. By regularly visualizing strong defenses, you train the mind and body to respond quickly at the first sign of threat. Studies show that meditators often recover faster from illness, not because they avoid exposure, but because their immune systems are primed. Visualization is part of this priming, a rehearsal that prepares the body for action. It is important to note that immune meditation is not about fighting the body, but about supporting it. Many people approach illness with frustration, seeing the body as failing. This tension adds stress, weakening defenses further. Meditation shifts perspective. The body is not against you, it is working for you tirelessly. By focusing on its strength, you align with it, making healing a partnership rather than a battle. Consistency is again vital. One session may bring calm, but repeated practice ingrains new patterns into the immune system. Just as muscles grow with training, immunity strengthens with regular focus. Over time, symptoms lessen, recovery quickens, and resilience deepens. Meditation does not replace medical care, but enhances it, creating a foundation where treatments and lifestyle changes are more effective. The Stoics spoke of preparing for what life brings, not with fear, but with strength. Immunity meditation is a direct embodiment of this wisdom. You do not wait passively for illness. You train daily, preparing your body and mind to meet challenges with calm resilience. In this way, meditation becomes not only healing, but empowerment, a reminder that within you lies the ability to protect and restore. So now, as you sit in stillness, breathe deeply and see the light moving through you. Feel gratitude for every unseen cell that works without pause. Visualize them strong, coordinated, and tireless. With each breath you feed them strength. With each exhale you release what weakens them. Hold the image until it feels alive, until your whole body glows with the quiet power of defense and renewal. Know that in this moment, your mind and body are united in purpose, building resilience, activating healing, and preparing you to live with strength and clarity. As the body strengthens its defenses and the mind learns to guide the immune system with clarity and gratitude, another form of nourishment reveals itself, one that does not come from breath, light, or visualization, but from silence. In a world that floods the senses with constant noise, silence becomes rare, yet it is one of the most powerful medicines for the nervous system. Stillness allows every part of you to reset, to reorganize, to gather strength without interference. Microdosing stillness means you do not wait for long retreats or hours of practice. Instead, you learn to take brief but potent pauses throughout the day. These small doses of silence condition the body and mind for resilience, teaching the nervous system that peace is always within reach, no matter the chaos outside. Silence is not empty. In silence, the nervous system recalibrates, stress hormones fall, and brain waves shift into calmer states. Research shows that even short periods of quiet can lower blood pressure, improve focus, and increase the growth of new brain cells. Microdosing stillness takes this principle and applies it in small, repeatable sessions. giving the nervous system multiple reminders each day that it can return to balance. Over time, these reminders accumulate, building resilience the way small exercises build strength in muscles. The practice begins simply. Pause for 1 minute, close your eyes, and release the need to engage with sound or thought. Let silence settle around you like a gentle cloak. At first, thoughts may rise noisily, but do not chase them. Allow them to pass while you rest in the quiet beneath. Even in a single minute, the body shifts. Heart rate slows, muscles soften, the mind begins to let go. This minute is not trivial. It is a reset button that prevents stress from compounding unchecked. Breath can guide you into silence. Inhale softly, exhale fully, then let awareness rest in the stillness between breaths. This pause, often overlooked, is a doorway into deeper calm. By placing attention there, you discover silence not only outside, but within, in the natural rhythm of your body. These brief inner pauses, repeated throughout the day, train your system to recognize quiet as a natural state rather than a rare escape. Microdosing stillness also involves using everyday transitions. Before opening your phone, pause for 10 seconds of silence. Before answering a question, take 1 silent breath. Before stepping into a room, stand still for a moment without action. These micro-practices weave silence into the fabric of daily life, transforming ordinary moments into anchors of calm. Instead of being swept along by constant demands, you create spaces where the nervous system rests and resets. The effects extend beyond stress relief. Silence enhances focus by giving the brain breaks from constant input. In micro moments of stillness, the default mode network of the brain activates, supporting creativity and problem solving. This means that pausing does not waste time, but prepares the mind to return sharper, clearer, and more effective. People who practice these pauses often find that tasks feel easier and decisions come with less struggle. On a physiological level, stillness supports heart rate variability, a marker of nervous system resilience. Short, repeated pauses allow the heart to reset its rhythm, strengthening the body's ability to adapt to stress. This flexibility protects against burnout and chronic illness. Each dose of silence is like exercise for the nervous system, building endurance and balance. Visualization can deepen the practice. In each pause, picture silence as a pool of still water spreading through your body. With every breath, the ripples settle until only calm remains. This imagery conditions the mind to associate silence with peace, reinforcing the nervous system's relaxation response. Over time, even the thought of silence can trigger calm, giving you a tool to manage stress instantly. Gratitude can also be included. In each pause, silently thank the stillness for its gift. This reinforces positive association, ensuring that the mind does not resist silence but welcomes it. Many people fear quiet because it brings up unprocessed thoughts or emotions. By pairing silence with gratitude, you transform it into a source of safety, making it easier to rest in. Microdosing stillness also helps with emotional regulation. When you pause in silence before reacting, you give the brain time to process rather than lash out. This reduces impulsive responses and strengthens patience. Over weeks, the nervous system learns to default to calm even in tense situations, breaking cycles of reactivity. This resilience benefits relationships, work, and inner peace alike. The Stoics often emphasized pausing before judgment, creating space between stimulus and response. Microdosing stillness is a direct embodiment of this wisdom. In silence, you see more clearly, respond more wisely, and carry less burden from unnecessary reactions. The practice strengthens not only the nervous system, but character itself, cultivating steadiness and clarity in every interaction. Consistency makes the difference. A single pause may ease tension, but repeated pauses condition the nervous system deeply. Just as medicine works in doses, silence heals through repetition. 5 or 6 micro-sessions each day, lasting only a minute or two, can reshape your baseline, lowering stress and increasing resilience. Over months, you may notice that even in loud or stressful environments, a quiet core remains within you, untouched by the noise. So as you continue, let silence enter more often. Close your eyes for a minute in the middle of the day. Breathe into the stillness between tasks. Let the nervous system learn that peace is always available. Each pause is small, but together they weave a new way of being, calm, resilient, and steady. In this way, microdosing stillness becomes not an escape from life, but a foundation for living it with greater strength and clarity. As silence begins to weave itself into your daily rhythm and the nervous system grows accustomed to resting in micro moments of calm, a deeper layer of the body calls for attention. Stillness reveals not only peace, but also tension that has been stored for years, held quietly beneath the surface. Much of this hidden strain lives in the fascia, the vast connective tissue that wraps every muscle, bone, and organ. Fascia is like the fabric that holds the body together, yet it is also where unexpressed stress, unresolved emotion, and physical trauma can lodge, creating stiffness, discomfort, or even chronic pain. Meditation with fascia awareness brings light into this matrix, teaching you how to sense, release, and heal at the level where body and mind truly meet. Fascia is more than structure. It is alive with nerves, sensitive to pressure, stretch, and vibration. When the body experiences stress, fascia contracts protectively, like fabric pulled tight. If the stress is brief, it relaxes again. But when stress is constant, fascia stays contracted, forming knots and restrictions that limit movement and energy. Over time, this tightness influences posture, mood, and even how emotions are felt. Fascia is sometimes called the body's memory, storing what the mind cannot process. By bringing mindful awareness into this tissue, you invite release where talking or thinking alone cannot reach. The practice begins by tuning into subtle sensation. Sit or lie comfortably and bring awareness to the surface of your body. Instead of focusing only on muscles or breath, sense the spaces between, the soft layers beneath the skin that hold everything together. You may notice warmth, tingling, or subtle vibration. These sensations are the language of fascia, often overlooked but always present. By resting attention here, you teach the nervous system to listen at a deeper level. Breath is a bridge into fascia. Slow inhalations create gentle expansion, stretching the web of tissue slightly, while exhalations allow it to soften and release. As you breathe, direct awareness to areas of tension. Picture the breath flowing into these regions, expanding the tissue from within, then exhaling as if releasing knots. Over time, fascia responds, loosening its grip and restoring fluidity. Science supports this. Deep breathing increases circulation of interstitial fluid within fascia, improving elasticity and reducing pain. Visualization enhances the release. Picture the fascia as a network of threads or a web of light. With each breath, see the threads softening, untangling, and glowing brighter. Imagine areas of stiffness dissolving into spaciousness. This mental imagery activates the nervous system, which in turn signals fascia to release. Though subtle, repeated practice creates real change, reducing tension patterns that may have persisted for years. Awareness of posture also plays a role. Fascia adapts to how you sit, stand, and move. Hours of slouching or holding tension create lasting imprints. Meditation with fascia. Awareness teaches you to sense alignment from within, noticing when the body feels balanced or strained. By regularly checking in, you can prevent the buildup of tightness before it becomes chronic. Over time, this internal awareness reshapes posture, supporting both movement and mood. Emotions often rise during fascia meditation. Because fascia stores unprocessed experience, release can bring waves of sadness, anger, or relief. Instead of resisting, allow these emotions to surface. Breathe through them, recognizing that they are part of the body's way of letting go. This integration helps free not only tissue but also psyche, reducing both physical and emotional weight. Gentle movement can be combined with meditation for deeper release. Slow stretches performed mindfully, while focusing on sensation in fascia, amplify the effect. For example, raising the arms overhead with awareness of the pull through the sides of the body, or twisting gently while sensing the spiral of tissue, creates both physical and mental release. The key is slowness and attention, letting the fascia guide you rather than forcing it. Sound can also support fascia healing. Humming or chanting creates vibration that travels through tissue, loosening tight areas. Paired with awareness, these vibrations penetrate the web of fascia, encouraging it to soften. Some traditions use singing bowls or low-frequency sounds for similar reasons, as sound waves move easily through connective tissue. Meditation enhances receptivity to these vibrations, making them more effective. The Stoics spoke of carrying tension in the soul when resisting life's flow. Fascia reflects this principle in the body. When you resist emotions or experiences, fascia tightens to hold them. Meditation with fascia. Awareness is an act of acceptance, teaching the body that it is safe to release. In doing so, you align with the Stoic wisdom of letting go of what is beyond control, finding freedom not in denial but in release. Scientific research shows that fascia health is linked to overall well-being. Restrictions contribute to chronic pain, reduced mobility, and fatigue. By meditating on fascia, you support hydration, circulation, and elasticity, restoring vitality at a foundational level. This is not separate from emotional health. The two are intertwined. A body free of fascial tension carries the mind more lightly, while a calm mind keeps fascia supple. Consistency builds transformation. A few minutes each day of tuning into fascia creates gradual but lasting release. Over weeks, you may notice less stiffness, more freedom of movement, or fewer aches. Over months, posture shifts, breath deepens, and emotions feel lighter. The web of fascia becomes less of a prison and more of a channel for energy and flow. So now, as you rest in stillness, bring your attention to the web that holds you together. Sense the subtle layers beneath your skin. Breathe into the tight spaces and let awareness soften them. Picture knots unraveling, threads loosening, light spreading. With each breath, tension dissolves, emotions release, and energy flows more freely. Know that by attending to fascia, you are healing not only the structure of your body, but the memory it carries, creating space for greater resilience, freedom, and peace. As the fascia softens and the body begins to release years of stored tension, another truth rises to the surface. What the body holds is not only physical. Beneath the knots of tissue and the stiffness of posture lies the emotional weight you pushed aside, the fears you denied, the anger you buried, and the sadness you never allowed yourself to fully feel. These hidden layers form what many traditions call the shadow, the part of yourself that lives outside of awareness but continues to shape your choices, your reactions, and even your health. Meditation becomes the safest space to meet these hidden aspects directly, not with judgment, but with compassion. Shadow integration. Meditation invites you to face what you once avoided, to welcome back the parts of yourself that have been exiled, and to unlock the vitality that was tied up in keeping them hidden. The shadow forms when experiences, thoughts, or feelings feel too overwhelming or unacceptable to express. As a child, you may have learned to hide fear to appear strong, to suppress anger to avoid punishment, or to deny sadness to keep going. Over time, these denied emotions do not vanish. They sink into the unconscious, shaping behavior in subtle ways. They appear as overreactions, addictions, or persistent anxiety. Meditation provides a way to bring light into this hidden territory, to see clearly without being consumed, and to free the energy trapped there. The practice begins with safety. Before exploring the shadow, establish calm through breath and grounding. Notice the body's contact with the ground, breathe slowly, and remind yourself that you are present, safe, and capable. This foundation allows you to explore without fear of being overwhelmed. Once stability is present, you can invite awareness of what lies beneath. Often, the shadow reveals itself through subtle cues, an image, a memory, a sudden feeling of unease. Instead of pushing it away, allow it to be there. Observe it with curiosity, as if meeting an old friend who has been waiting for you. Breath anchors this exploration. Each inhale brings courage, each exhale releases resistance. By staying with the rhythm, you teach the nervous system that it is possible to face discomfort without collapsing. The body learns that emotions are energy moving through, not threats to survival. This lesson alone is transformative, shifting the relationship with fear and pain from avoidance to acceptance. Visualization supports integration. Picture yourself entering a quiet inner room where the hidden parts of you live. As you step inside, notice what arises: a figure, a memory, or simply a feeling. Welcome it without judgment. If it is fear, greet it. If it is anger, let it speak. If it is sadness, hold it gently. These parts have been waiting for acknowledgement, and by giving them space, you release the pressure of suppression. Over time, this practice transforms inner enemies into allies, as each hidden part carries wisdom and vitality once locked away. Compassion is the key. Instead of asking, "Why am I like this?" shift to, "What does this part need?" Often, the shadow holds unmet needs for safety, love, or expression. In meditation, you can provide these needs symbolically, offering comfort, reassurance, or forgiveness. This compassionate engagement rewires the nervous system, reducing the fear that once kept these parts hidden. Emotions may rise strongly during shadow work. Tears, trembling, or waves of anger may flow through. Rather than resisting, breathe and allow them to move. Emotions are energy in motion, and when given space, they pass. Each release frees energy that was tied up in repression, energy you can now use for creativity, connection, and vitality. Repetition builds trust. The shadow does not reveal itself all at once, but in layers. Each meditation uncovers what you are ready to face, no more, no less. By returning regularly, you signal to your unconscious that it is safe to bring more into awareness. Over weeks and months, patterns begin to shift. Reactions that once felt uncontrollable soften, relationships deepen, and self-understanding grows. The Stoics spoke of knowing oneself fully, of not hiding from truth. They saw strength not in denial, but in acceptance of what is. Shadow integration aligns with this wisdom. To face the darker parts of yourself without fear is to embody courage in its truest form. You do not need to conquer the shadow, you need to welcome it, to recognize that it has been part of you all along. In this union, you become more whole, no longer fragmented between what is shown and what is hidden. Practical steps can help anchor the process. Begin by setting intention before each session. I choose to meet what I have hidden with compassion. Use breath to stay grounded and visualization to guide exploration. End each session by thanking the parts that revealed themselves, affirming that they are accepted. This ritual creates closure and prevents overwhelm, ensuring integration rather than chaos. Shadow work through meditation also impacts physical health. Suppressed emotions often manifest as chronic tension, fatigue, or illness. By integrating them, you reduce the stress load on the body, allowing systems to function more freely. This explains why many people feel lighter, more energized, and even physically healthier after sustained shadow practice. So now, as you close your eyes, breathe deeply and turn inward. Allow yourself to meet what rises from the hidden places. Hold it gently, breathe with it, and remind it that it belongs. With each session, you dissolve the walls between light and dark, building a self that is whole, resilient, and alive with vitality. In facing the shadow, you do not lose yourself. You discover the full strength and depth that has always been within. As the hidden emotions of the shadow are welcomed and their energy reintegrated into the whole self, a new kind of freedom becomes available. Yet even with this deeper wholeness, the body still requires one essential element to truly repair and thrive: sleep. Without it, balance falters, clarity dims, and resilience weakens. Many people drift through nights where the body lies down but never truly restores itself, where dreams are shallow and rest is fragmented. What is often overlooked is that sleep itself has an architecture, a design of stages that must flow together for health to emerge. When this architecture is disrupted, the mind never clears fully, the body never repairs deeply, and vitality slowly erodes. Meditation offers a path to guide the body back into its natural rhythms, training both brain and nervous system to restore deep, slow-wave sleep and vivid REM cycles through imagery, breath, and focused awareness. Sleep is built in layers. The first stages are light, preparing the body for rest. Then slow-wave sleep arrives, where the brain produces delta waves, growth hormone is released, and tissues repair. Later, REM sleep unfolds, where dreams emerge, memory consolidates, and emotions are processed. Together, these stages create a cycle that repeats throughout the night, each one essential. Stress, trauma, or overstimulation can fragment this cycle, leaving the body stuck in light sleep, waking frequently, or skipping restorative phases. By engaging meditation, you teach the nervous system to calm, guide brain waves into slower rhythms, and encourage the natural flow of sleep architecture to return. The first step is releasing tension before bed. Breath is the simplest way to do this. Slow inhalations through the nose followed by long exhalations through the mouth activate the parasympathetic system, signaling that it is safe to enter rest. This calms cortisol, lowers heart rate, and begins shifting brain waves from alert beta to relaxed alpha, setting the stage for deeper phases. Adding visualization strengthens the effect. As you breathe, picture yourself descending a gentle staircase or sinking slowly into a soft pool, each step or movement taking you deeper into rest. This imagery mirrors the brain's natural descent into sleep stages, making it easier to follow. Guided imagery can target specific phases. For slow-wave sleep, focus on grounding imagery, dark earth, deep caves, steady mountains. These symbols encourage the brain toward delta rhythms, the waves of deep repair. For REM sleep, focus on flowing imagery, rivers, clouds, or shifting patterns of light. These stimulate the creative networks of the brain that activate during dreaming. By alternating these visualizations, you gently nudge the brain to move through its full cycle, repairing both body and mind. Body scanning is another effective tool. Lying in bed, place attention on each part of the body in sequence from head to toes, releasing tension as you go. This practice relaxes muscles and quiets the mind, making it easier to transition into deep sleep. More importantly, it strengthens the connection between mind and body, reducing nighttime restlessness. Studies show that body scans increase slow-wave activity, supporting physical recovery. Sound can also play a role. Binaural beats in delta or theta frequencies guide the brain toward the rhythms of deep sleep. Gentle chanting or humming before bed activates the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system. Combined with meditation, these sounds help entrain the body into restorative states more quickly. Over time, the brain learns to associate them with rest, making sleep easier to access. Emotional release before sleep is equally important. Many people carry unresolved worries into bed, keeping the mind in hyper-alert states. Meditation allows you to process these thoughts before lying down. Journaling briefly, then entering a few minutes of silent gratitude or compassion practice clears emotional clutter. This prepares the mind for REM sleep, where dreams continue the work of integration. By beginning the process consciously, you reduce the burden on dreams, allowing REM to flow more smoothly. Consistency builds new sleep patterns. Meditation before bed, practiced nightly, trains the body to associate these cues with rest. Over weeks, the nervous system anticipates relaxation at the same time, re-establishing circadian rhythms. This regularity strengthens melatonin release, aligns the sleep-wake cycle, and restores healthy architecture. The body relearns to cycle naturally through stages instead of fragmenting. Daytime practices also matter. Short meditations throughout the day lower baseline stress, making it easier to enter sleep at night. If the nervous system spends the day in constant alert, it cannot suddenly shift to rest. By weaving mindfulness and breath into the day, you build a foundation for deeper sleep at night. This connection between day and night is often overlooked. How you live during the day is how you rest at night. Visualization can also extend to healing specific conditions. For insomnia, you may picture a safe cocoon surrounding you, shielding you from noise and distraction. For restless sleep, you may picture waves washing over the body, each one deeper than the last. For nightmares, you may picture light surrounding you as you sleep, guiding dreams toward resolution rather than fear. These targeted visualizations reshape the unconscious patterns that disrupt sleep, gradually creating a healthier architecture. The Stoics valued the preparation of the mind before rest, often reflecting on the day with clarity and letting go of attachment before sleep. This practice aligns directly with modern meditation techniques. By ending the day with reflection, gratitude, and visualization, you set the stage not only for deeper sleep, but for waking with calm and focus. In this way, meditation for sleep repair is both ancient wisdom and modern science combined. So, as you lie down tonight, let your breath slow, your body release, and your mind sink into gentle imagery. Picture yourself descending into the depths of healing sleep, held by darkness and silence. Allow waves of rest to wash over you, guiding the brain into the rhythms it remembers. Trust that with each night of practice, your sleep architecture is being rebuilt, your body is repairing, your mind is integrating, and your spirit is renewing. In this restoration, you discover not only rest, but the foundation for clarity, resilience, and vitality in every waking moment. As the body relearns the architecture of sleep and the mind rediscovers how to flow through cycles of deep restoration, another system begins to ask for attention. Sleep repairs tissues, consolidates memory, and balances emotions. But the waste left behind by daily living must also be cleared. This is the work of the lymphatic system, a silent network of vessels and nodes that filters toxins, moves immune cells, and keeps the body's inner environment clean. Unlike blood, which is pumped by the heart, lymph has no central pump. It relies on movement, breath, and posture to flow. When this flow stagnates, fatigue, swelling, and lowered immunity follow. Meditation combined with gentle awareness offers a way to activate this system, guiding circulation through imagery and subtle movement, and supporting the body's natural detoxification process. The lymphatic system is vast, running parallel to blood vessels and surrounding every organ. It collects waste from cells, filters it through lymph nodes, and returns fluid back to circulation. Stress, poor posture, and inactivity often slow its movement, leaving toxins and stagnant fluid behind. By combining mindful breathing, visualization, and small physical shifts, you can stimulate lymphatic flow without force. The nervous system plays a direct role here. When calm, vessels dilate and fluid moves freely. When stressed, flow constricts. This is why meditation is a powerful ally. It restores calm, which opens pathways. The practice begins with posture. Sit or lie in a position that lengthens the spine and opens the chest, giving lymph vessels room to move. Place hands gently on the lower ribs and breathe deeply, feeling expansion on the inhale and release on the exhale. Each diaphragmatic breath acts like a pump, compressing and releasing lymph vessels in the abdomen, where the largest reservoir, the cisterna chyli, collects fluid. With each breath, picture this reservoir filling with light, then emptying upward through the chest, cleansing as it rises. Visualization enhances awareness. Picture the lymphatic system as streams of clear liquid flowing through the body. With each inhale, see the streams brighten, and with each exhale, see toxins leaving as the fluid clears. Move awareness slowly through key areas: the neck, where lymph drains into the bloodstream; the armpits, where immune cells gather; the abdomen, where digestion and immunity connect; and the legs, where fluid often collects. As you focus, sense subtle warmth or tingling, signs that awareness is awakening flow. Gentle movement pairs naturally with this meditation. Slowly roll the shoulders while breathing, twist the torso gently from side to side, or stretch the arms upward with intention. Each motion compresses and releases lymph channels, creating rhythm. Move slowly, linking breath with motion, and visualize fluid moving more freely each time. Even small gestures, when combined with focused awareness, create profound effects. Sound can also support lymph flow. Humming or chanting sends vibration through the chest, stimulating lymph vessels near the heart and lungs. In meditation, pair sound with visualization. Feel the vibration shaking loose stagnation, guiding waste toward release. This combination of sound, breath, and imagery creates multiple signals for the system to open and move. Emotions are connected here as well. The lymphatic system often reflects what has not been processed, showing up as heaviness or swelling. As you breathe and visualize flow, allow emotions to surface. Anger, sadness, or fatigue may rise as the body releases both physical and emotional residue. By staying with breath and compassion, you let these emotions move instead of remaining stuck. Over time, this clears both body and mind, lightening your overall state. Gratitude strengthens the effect. Silently thank the lymphatic system for its constant work, often unnoticed but vital. Thank you for cleansing me. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for renewing me. This simple acknowledgement lowers stress and increases oxytocin, indirectly supporting flow. Pairing gratitude with visualization creates coherence, aligning emotional state with physical release. Daily practice builds results. Just a few minutes of breath and focus can improve lymphatic circulation, but repetition conditions the system to stay open. Over weeks, swelling decreases, immunity strengthens, and energy rises. Over months, the body feels lighter, more resilient, less weighed down by stagnation. Meditation makes this process sustainable, turning cleansing into a natural rhythm rather than a forced effort. The Stoics often wrote of clearing the mind daily, of releasing unnecessary thoughts before they became burdens. Lymphatic meditation is the bodily parallel, clearing waste before it becomes illness. In this way, caring for the lymphatic system is not only physical hygiene, but also spiritual discipline, a practice of renewal and preparation for each new day. So now, as you breathe deeply, place awareness on your body's inner rivers. Feel the rise and fall of the diaphragm, the gentle rhythm of circulation. Visualize clear streams moving through every vessel, carrying away what no longer serves. Add small movements, a hum or a soft twist, and sense the flow increasing. Hold gratitude for this hidden system that works without rest. With each breath, toxins leave, clarity returns, and vitality spreads. In this state of flow, you discover that cleansing is not struggle, but alignment, a reminder that the body is always ready to heal when given space and attention. As the rivers of the lymphatic system begin to flow more freely and the body learns how to release what no longer serves, another form of cleansing calls from an even deeper layer. It is the quiet, invisible process where the body recycles its own worn-out parts, repairing itself from the inside out. This is autophagy, the natural renewal cycle in which damaged cells are broken down and rebuilt, clearing debris and restoring vitality. When this process is active, the body heals more efficiently, slows aging, and resists disease. When it is blocked by constant stress or overeating, stagnation builds, leaving you fatigued and vulnerable. Meditation paired with mindful fasting creates the perfect environment for autophagy to thrive, guiding awareness into the body's innate intelligence and supporting the repair cycles that sustain long-term health. Autophagy is not destruction, but renewal. Old proteins, dysfunctional mitochondria, and cellular waste are broken down, recycled, and turned into building blocks for stronger, healthier cells. It is the body's way of spring cleaning at the microscopic level. Fasting is one of the most effective triggers for this process, but meditation enhances it by reducing stress signals, balancing hormones, and creating a state of calm that allows repair to take priority. Without inner stillness, fasting can be experienced as struggle. With meditative awareness, it becomes a practice of alignment and cooperation with the body's natural wisdom. The first step is intention. Enter fasting and meditation not as deprivation, but as an act of renewal. By setting the mindset of healing, you shift chemistry away from stress toward balance. In meditation, hold the thought, I am giving my body space to repair. This intention calms cortisol, supports insulin sensitivity, and allows the body to use fasting as a tool for healing rather than interpreting it as threat. Breath is essential here. During fasting, the body can feel restless or anxious. Slow, rhythmic breathing calms these sensations, bringing steadiness to the nervous system. Each inhale provides oxygen that fuels repair. Each exhale releases tension and toxins. Breathing in meditation during fasting is more than relaxation. It directly supports the metabolic shifts that allow autophagy to unfold, stabilizing energy and focus when the mind would otherwise resist. Visualization deepens the process. Picture your body as a vast network of cells, each one glowing softly. As you breathe, see some cells clearing waste, dissolving broken parts, and replacing them with new strength. Visualize debris leaving the system like smoke, fading into air, while fresh energy rises in its place. This imagery activates the brain's repair networks, aligning thought with biology. Neuroscience shows that visualization changes hormone levels and influences cellular processes. When applied to fasting, it magnifies the signals that guide autophagy. Gratitude is another tool. Many resist fasting by focusing on what is missing, which creates stress. In meditation, focus on gratitude for what the body is doing. Thank you for renewing me. Thank you for recycling what I no longer need. Thank you for keeping me alive. Gratitude changes emotional tone, which shifts hormonal balance, lowering cortisol and increasing growth factors that support repair. This mindset turns fasting into empowerment rather than suffering. Awareness of sensation guides the practice. During fasting, you may feel lightness, warmth, or subtle energy shifts. Instead of labeling these as discomfort, notice them with curiosity. They are signs that the body is switching into renewal mode. By sitting with them in meditation, you train the mind to cooperate rather than resist, making the process sustainable. Over time, these sensations become familiar markers of healing rather than obstacles. Sound and vibration can also assist. Gentle humming or chanting stimulates the vagus nerve, improving digestion and circulation even when no food is present. This helps the body move waste more efficiently during fasting. When paired with visualization of cells cleansing themselves, sound creates coherence across systems, making the repair cycle more powerful. Autophagy is also linked to circadian rhythm. Practicing meditation during the evening fast, when the body naturally prepares for repair, amplifies results. Guided imagery of rest and darkness supports melatonin release, which enhances autophagy. By aligning meditation with natural rhythms, you strengthen the process further, turning fasting into a seamless part of the body's nightly restoration. Emotional patterns can interfere with renewal. Stress, anger, or worry trigger cortisol, which blocks autophagy. Meditation provides a way to clear these emotions before or during fasting. Compassion practice, forgiveness, or simple silence reduces the emotional load, keeping the body in balance. In this way, meditation becomes a protective shield, ensuring that the benefits of fasting are not undone by stress. Consistency creates transformation. Occasional fasting paired with meditation may bring relief, but repeated practice ingrains renewal into your physiology. Over weeks, energy stabilizes, skin clears, digestion improves, and focus sharpens. Over months, aging slows, resilience grows, and a deep sense of vitality arises. Meditation ensures that each fasting window is not just a pause from eating, but an invitation for profound repair. The Stoics often practiced voluntary simplicity, abstaining from excess not as punishment, but to train resilience and remind themselves of sufficiency. Autophagy meditation is the biological parallel. By giving the body a break from constant intake, you remind it of its innate ability to restore itself. Paired with calm awareness, this becomes not only physical healing, but spiritual training, a reminder that renewal comes from within, not from constant consumption. So as you sit now, let your breath steady and your body rest in stillness. Hold the awareness that within you, cells are clearing, recycling, renewing. Picture light spreading through tissues, dissolving what is no longer needed and leaving strength in its place. Feel gratitude for this silent process, always available, waiting only for space. Know that with every breath, every mindful pause, every fast supported by awareness, you are activating the deepest cycles of healing. Autophagy is not distant. It is happening now, guided by your intention, nourished by your silence, and magnified by your meditation. As the body learns to renew itself through the deep cycles of autophagy, clearing away the old to make room for the new, awareness begins to expand outward again. Repair is not only an inner process, it is also shaped by the patterns you surround yourself with each day. The nervous system does not exist in isolation. It is constantly mirroring the rhythms, shapes, and movements of the environment. Modern life often fills the senses with sharp edges, artificial lines, and digital noise, leaving the mind restless and disconnected. Yet nature has always offered a different kind of order, one that calms without effort. The secret lies in fractals, the repeating patterns of geometry found in trees, rivers, mountains, and clouds. These shapes are not random. They carry mathematical harmony that resonates with the human brain. Meditation within these patterns restores balance, entrains the mind to natural rhythm, and reawakens a sense of belonging to the living world. Fractals are everywhere in nature. The branching of a tree mirrors the branching of blood vessels. The flow of a river resembles the flow of neurons. The swirls of clouds echo the patterns of galaxies. This repetition across scales is called self-similarity, and the brain responds to it instinctively. Research shows that looking at fractals reduces stress by up to 60%, stabilizes heart rate, and increases alpha brainwaves associated with relaxation. When you enter meditation within these patterns, you align not only visually but physiologically, training the mind and nervous system to follow nature's harmony. The practice begins by placing yourself in direct contact with fractals. Sit under a tree and trace the lines of its branches with your eyes. Watch how each smaller branch repeats the shape of the larger, how the pattern continues endlessly. As you breathe, let your awareness flow with the lines, moving outward and inward, as if following the rhythm of growth itself. This simple act quiets mental noise, drawing focus into the geometry of life. Rivers offer another gateway. Sitting near moving water, watch how currents split and rejoin, how ripples form repeating shapes. As your eyes follow these patterns, synchronize breath with flow. Inhale as the water moves forward. Exhale as it recedes or swirls. This pairing of natural rhythm with inner rhythm creates entrainment, a state where the body and environment align, lowering stress and deepening meditation. Clouds and skies hold fractals too. Watching shifting formations, you notice swirls and curls repeating within larger masses. In meditation, lie back and let the eyes soften, allowing patterns to drift into awareness without grasping. Thoughts begin to mimic the clouds, arising, changing, dissolving, teaching the mind to let go with the same ease. This practice helps release attachment to rigid thought, creating openness and creativity. Visualization can extend these practices when direct nature is not available. Close your eyes and picture the spiral of a fern unfolding, the branching of lightning across the sky, or the spiral of a seashell. The brain responds to imagined fractals similarly to real ones, activating calm states. Guided imagery of walking through a forest or standing beside waves can entrain neural rhythms even in urban settings, giving access to nature's order wherever you are. The connection between fractals and the human body deepens this practice. Your lungs, veins, and neural networks are fractal in design. Meditating on natural fractals reminds the body of its own geometry, creating resonance. As you sit with a tree or river, sense your breath as branches, your circulation as streams, your thoughts as shifting clouds. This recognition dissolves separation, reinforcing that you are part of the same living pattern. Emotional release often follows. The mind, overwhelmed by artificial environments, relaxes when exposed to fractals. In this relaxation, buried emotions rise safely, carried by the calm of nature. Tears may fall without reason, or joy may swell suddenly. Allowing these responses deepens healing, as the fractal environment holds and guides you through release. Movement meditation enhances the effect. Walking in a forest, focus on the fractal repetition of branches and leaves. With each step, align breath with stride, noticing how the ground itself forms repeating textures. Moving slowly with awareness turns walking into entrainment, embedding harmony into the nervous system. Sound also interacts with fractals. The rustle of leaves, the rhythm of waves, the chorus of birds are fractal in structure, carrying self-similar patterns across scales of time. In meditation, close the eyes and focus on these natural sounds. Notice how they never repeat exactly, but follow patterns that feel familiar. This unpredictability within order calms the brain, teaching it to rest without rigidity. The Stoics valued nature as teacher, reminding themselves that to live in accordance with nature was to live with virtue and peace. Meditation in fractals is a direct experience of this wisdom. By entraining to natural geometry, you step into alignment with order that has guided life for millions of years. This is not philosophy alone, it is physiology, as your nervous system shifts to match the patterns of harmony. Consistency creates transformation. Spending even 15 minutes daily with natural fractals reshapes stress responses, improves mood, and strengthens focus. Combined with meditation, the effects multiply, creating a nervous system that finds balance more quickly, a mind that quiets more easily, and emotions that flow more freely. Over time, this practice builds resilience that extends into every area of life, from relationships to work to health. So now, as you rest in stillness, let your eyes or mind trace the repeating patterns of nature. Follow the branches, the rivers, the clouds, the spirals. Let breath align with them, thoughts soften with them, and heart steady with them. Know that you are not separate from these patterns, but shaped by the same geometry. In entraining to nature's fractals, you return to your own natural harmony, a state of balance that has always been waiting for you to remember. As the mind entrains to the repeating harmony of nature's fractals and the nervous system softens into alignment with living patterns all around, awareness can be guided even deeper into the most subtle rhythm within the body itself. Beneath the pulse of the heart and the rise of the breath lies another wave, slower and quieter, yet essential for health. It is the craniosacral rhythm, the gentle ebb and flow of cerebrospinal fluid as it circulates around the brain and spinal cord. This rhythm nourishes, cushions, and protects the nervous system, and when it is balanced, the entire body feels at ease. When disrupted by stress, trauma, or tension, clarity fades, anxiety rises, and resilience weakens. Meditation on this rhythm teaches you how to sense it directly, to rest in its flow, and to allow its movement to guide repair from the inside out. The craniosacral system includes the membranes and fluid that surround the brain and spinal cord. This fluid moves in a rhythmic cycle, expanding and contracting like a tide. Subtle yet powerful, this motion can be felt with careful attention, both by trained practitioners and by those who cultivate deep inner awareness. When awareness rests here, the nervous system is invited into stillness, tension releases naturally, and balance returns without effort. This is why craniosacral practices have been used to relieve headaches, anxiety, chronic pain, and trauma symptoms. They give the nervous system a chance to reset through the rhythm it knows best. The meditation begins by settling into stillness. Lie down or sit with the spine supported, eyes closed, and breath steady. Before searching for the rhythm, allow the body to relax fully, releasing surface tension. Begin by tuning into the breath, then gradually shift attention inward toward the subtle pulse that lies beneath. It may first be felt as a gentle expansion in the skull, a soft widening in the sacrum, or a wave-like flow through the spine. The key is not to force awareness, but to wait, to listen patiently until the rhythm reveals itself. Breath can help bridge awareness. Inhale slowly, sensing expansion not only in the lungs but in the head and spine. Exhale fully, allowing everything to settle. As you repeat, notice how the body naturally moves with a rhythm beyond breath, slower and more spacious. Rest attention there, letting the craniosacral tide guide you into deeper meditation. Visualization enhances perception. Picture a luminous fluid flowing up and down the spine, rising to bathe the brain, then descending to nourish the sacrum. See it as a tide, gentle and steady, carrying clarity with it. As you hold this image, the body often begins to resonate with the rhythm more clearly, and subtle shifts in sensation confirm alignment. This practice not only calms but heals. The cerebrospinal fluid delivers nutrients, clears waste, and balances pressure around the nervous system. By focusing awareness here, you support these processes, reducing strain and enhancing repair. Many people report warmth, tingling, or waves of release during the practice, signs that the nervous system is unwinding. Emotional release may also occur. Because trauma often imprints on the nervous system, restoring craniosacral rhythm can bring long-held feelings to the surface. Meeting them with breath and compassion allows integration. Rather than resisting, you let the rhythm carry them out, replacing tension with ease. Over time, this reduces reactivity, improves resilience, and restores calm. Gratitude deepens the meditation. Silently thank the body for carrying this rhythm every moment of life, often unnoticed. Thank you for protecting my mind. Thank you for carrying me through stress. Thank you for restoring balance. Gratitude shifts emotional tone, lowering stress hormones and encouraging coherence across body and mind. Gentle movement can support the process. Slow rocking of the pelvis, rolling of the head, or subtle stretching of the spine can help open pathways for cerebrospinal fluid. Done mindfully, these motions amplify awareness of the tide, making it easier to rest in its flow. Combined with visualization, movement turns the meditation into a full-body dialogue with the rhythm. Sound can also enhance the practice. Soft humming or chanting creates vibration that resonates through the skull and spine, stimulating flow. Paired with attention, this vibration magnifies awareness of the craniosacral pulse, making it clearer. Over time, the body learns to associate sound with alignment, deepening access to the rhythm. Consistency is vital. At first, sensing the craniosacral rhythm may feel elusive, but with daily practice, awareness sharpens and the rhythm becomes more familiar. Over weeks, the nervous system learns to settle into balance more quickly, and symptoms of tension or stress begin to ease. Over months, the practice builds resilience that supports health across all systems. Sleep improves, pain decreases, focus sharpens. The Stoics spoke of aligning with nature, not only in the external world, but within the self. Craniosacral meditation is a direct expression of this wisdom. It teaches you to listen to the body's most subtle rhythm, to align with the tide that nourishes life itself. In this alignment, healing arises not from control, but from surrender, from trusting the body's intelligence to restore balance. So now, as you rest in stillness, let awareness sink into the spine and skull. Feel for the gentle tide beneath breath, the expansion and release that flows quietly, endlessly. Let it guide you into calm. Let it carry away tension. Let it renew the nervous system. In this rhythm, you find a source of healing always present, waiting only for your awareness to return. As awareness settles into the craniosacral rhythm and the nervous system learns to follow the body's quiet tides, a final doorway opens, one that bridges the extraordinary with the ordinary. For some, deep healing and insight arise not only through silence or breath, but also through journeys into altered states. These may come through psychedelic experiences, plant medicine ceremonies, or spontaneous expansions of consciousness. Such states can reveal profound truths, dissolve old identities, and awaken visions of possibility. Yet without integration, these insights often fade or leave confusion in their place. Meditation becomes the ground where these glimpses of transformation are anchored, turning fleeting visions into lasting change. Psychedelic integration. Meditation allows you to translate what was once overwhelming or ineffable into daily clarity, health, and resilience. Integration begins with acknowledgement. Altered states can bring insights that feel larger than language, visions of unity, encounters with hidden fears, or revelations of purpose. Left unprocessed, they may remain as fragments, either glorified or dismissed. Through meditation, you create space to revisit them calmly, allowing the nervous system to absorb what was once too intense. Sitting in stillness, you recall what arose, not to relive it but to let it unfold at a pace the body and mind can handle. Breath anchors the process. Psychedelic states often disrupt ordinary sense of time, leaving the mind ungrounded. By focusing on steady inhales and slow, full exhales, you bring rhythm back into the system. Each breath reminds the body of safety, creating the foundation needed to process what was revealed. Without this grounding, insights may feel chaotic. With it, they become digestible. Visualization supports integration. Close your eyes and revisit the imagery, emotions, or lessons that surfaced in altered states. Instead of clinging to them, place them in symbolic form: a glowing stone, a flowing river, a tree with deep roots. Hold these images in meditation until their meaning becomes clearer. The mind often communicates through metaphor, and by letting images settle, you allow wisdom to emerge gradually. Compassion is crucial. Psychedelic journeys often bring buried fears or traumas to the surface. Integration. Meditation offers a way to meet them gently. As you recall moments of difficulty, breathe into them with kindness. Say inwardly, "You are safe now. You are accepted." This compassion rewires the emotional charge, transforming what was once frightening into a source of strength. Over time, these integrations reduce triggers and increase resilience. Gratitude anchors insights. After recalling lessons or visions, pause to thank them. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for guiding me. Gratitude signals to the nervous system that the experience was meaningful, not threatening. It helps consolidate memory, ensuring insights are remembered not as chaotic fragments, but as valuable guidance. Body awareness is another pathway. Psychedelic states often heighten sensitivity, revealing patterns of tension or energy flow. In integration meditation, return to the body and sense where those imprints remain. Notice warmth, pressure, or subtle vibration. By holding awareness there, you allow the body to process and release what was activated. This prevents lingering discomfort and channels the energy into healing. Sound can support integration. Humming, chanting, or listening to calming tones recalls the vibrational qualities often present in psychedelic states. Paired with meditation, sound helps bridge extraordinary experience with ordinary awareness, soothing the nervous system and reminding it that both states belong to the same continuum of being. Journaling after meditation deepens the practice. By writing insights down, you translate them into language the conscious mind can use. Meditation prepares the ground by calming and clarifying, and journaling harvests what arises. Over time, patterns appear. Guidance that once felt mysterious becomes actionable. The Stoics would have recognized this process. They sought to test every insight, not by clinging to inspiration, but by applying it daily. In the same way, psychedelic integration meditation ensures that revelations become virtues, habits, and choices. It transforms vision into practice, aligning extraordinary glimpses with ordinary living. Consistency matters. Integration is not a single session, but an ongoing process. Each meditation allows another layer of insight to settle, another emotion to release, another lesson to be applied. Over weeks, the distance between altered states and daily life shrinks. You carry the calm, clarity, and openness of those experiences into ordinary moments, relationships, work, and solitude. So now, as you sit with breath steady and body calm, recall gently what has arisen in your journeys. Hold the images, emotions, and lessons without clinging. Let compassion meet what is difficult, gratitude anchor what is beautiful, and awareness guide what is unclear. With each session, insights are woven into the fabric of your being. They are no longer fleeting, they are lived. In this way, meditation completes the circle of transformation, turning extraordinary states into lasting health, wisdom, and presence. 3 hours of practice have carried you through a journey few people ever take, a journey into the deepest layers of your mind, your body, and your spirit. You have touched the nervous system and learned how to release what it has held for years. You have felt the wisdom of your cells, the flow of your breath, the balance of your heart, and the hidden strength of your genes. You have walked through shadow and light, rebuilt the patterns of sleep, cleansed the body's rivers, and awakened renewal at every level. You have discovered that healing is not a distant hope, but something already alive within you, waiting only for awareness, patience, and presence. This is the gift of Stoic meditation: strength without resistance, calm without numbness, wisdom without fear. Every practice you've experienced tonight, whether it was somatic release, cellular healing, or integration of ancestral wounds, has reminded you of one truth: you are not broken, you are becoming whole. And now, as this journey closes, the question is not whether these practices work, they already have, but whether you will carry them with you into tomorrow. Healing is a choice made again and again. Tonight, you chose presence. Tomorrow, you can choose it again. If any part of this journey spoke to you, I'd love to hear which practice resonated most. Leave a comment with the one meditation that touched you deeply. Your words may inspire someone else who needs the same healing. And if you want to continue exploring wisdom like this, blending ancient Stoic philosophy with modern meditation for strength, peace, and renewal, make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell. That way, you'll never miss the next step in this journey of becoming stronger, calmer, and more alive. Your healing continues from here. Rest deeply, wake renewed, and carry this clarity into every breath of tomorrow.